Well, welcome in as you look live at the 76-foot-tall Golden Driller outside the SageNet Center in downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma. It is night number 4, Thursday night, preliminary night here of the 39th annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Welcome into the broadcast here on FloRacing. We are stoked to have you for night number 4, 3 in the books, 2 to go Thursday night. Caleb Hart, Chris Moore, Clinton Boyles. Guys.
Barely.
I don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone.
The world doesn't need to.
My timing is impeccable. That's what they're talking about.
I bet Kyler Hope would disagree.
Darn right it is.
Sorry. As soon as you doubt me, I'm here.
We're glad to have you in here tonight, guys. We've had 3 good nights so far. We've locked 6 guys into the pole shuffle on Saturday night. Thursday night in the arena, the most loaded field we've had so far, and the biggest car count was 79.
Yeah, we get bigger and bigger as the week goes along pretty much every year, and that stays a common theme tonight. 79 cars signing in tonight. As Wikipedia said, the biggest Thursday night has ever seen since the expansion of 5 nights. So we've got a big night with some heavy hitters, Clinton.
Yeah, that just means bigger heat races, more opportunities for passing points, more opportunities for someone to climb the ranks that you don't expect, and maybe just a bit of a tougher challenge for a guy like Christopher Bell, who's probably coming in here as the favorite, and just a bigger chance. We're going to see more laps on the racetrack with more cars, so it's going to wear in a little bit differently, and just a lot of curveballs these guys are going to see throughout the night.
Christopher Bell is your headliner tonight, but by no means is he the overwhelming favorite, as you have a former Chili Bowl champion in the field with him in Tanner Thorson, as well as the defending Thursday night champion Spencer Baston running tonight as well.
And don't forget Chris Wyndham, a guy who's run up front here a lot. Ryan Bernal coming out of the Matt Wood Racing camp. So there's a lot of heavy hitters as we continue on here throughout the week.
Going to have a lot to preview coming up. The show just getting up and started as you get a look at the track surface, which took in a lot of moisture in the overnight hours, as they typically do. They'll work from drop of the checkered flag into just before we get out on the racetrack here, continuing to try to load it up with water. We're on a 1/5 of a mile oval inside the SageNet Center here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. First year that we did this was 1987, and this racetrack exists for only 30 days a year. From the time they hand over the keys, they started loading in some of the old Tulsa Speedway material, building it up, and then at the drop of the checkered flag on Saturday night, they will be taking it down. Poles and fence will start coming down as we're still handing out trophies on Saturday. Beautiful Tulsa day today, 59 degrees outside, 5-mile-an-hour winds, but as has become cliche, always 72 and sunny inside the arena. Chris Moore and makes it so we have a nice controllable surface to race on as the night goes on.
I brought my golf clubs last year and said it's too cold down there. I'm not doing that anymore. And
here we are.
It's beautiful today, and going to be we're going to get to the 60s tomorrow. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful outside, but
don't
as
worry,
you said, Caleb,
it's Oklahoma. It'll change in 2 more
yeah,
days.
I think Saturday we're going to be down to the 30s.
By tomorrow night, in fact, it is supposed to be bringing in quite the cold front that we have here. As you get a look, the car is putting some moisture in here in and around the SageNet Center. Well, we've had a lot of fun in the broadcast so far, and we need to give you your schedule coming up for tonight. Dirt Draft Hot Laps are on their way, followed by opening ceremonies scheduled for roughly 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. 9 heat races tonight, going 8 laps in distance, in which we will sort out your top 40 in points. Cars 41 through 79 will go into C main events, D mains if needed on. Those 40 cars that make qualifiers, your top 40 in points, top 24 of them will be inverted. You'll see them come up after your C main events, and from there, they will separate 16 into lock-ins from the highest combined heat racing qualifying points. The remaining 24 will disperse into 2 B main events. They'll take the top 4 move-ups from each of 2 C main events. After the 15-lap B mains, the top 4 in each of those will come to fill out the field for our 24-car, 30-lap A main event that only has 2 guaranteed starting spots in Saturday's pole shuffle. Well, we are excited to welcome back to the broadcast after a night off last night, Brian Ward down in the infield. Good afternoon, Brian. How was your night off yesterday?
Good afternoon, Caleb. It was a great night out. I got to hang out over there in turn number 2 and just soak in all the great racing they had last night. Got to watch Chris run around the infield and put in some work. Enjoyed just getting to sit back and act like a spectator for the most part last night. So a great show and great to have that opportunity. came back this afternoon, talked with some of the officials. Racetrack, pretty much again a rinse and repeat. A lot of water overnight, and today they did have the trucks rolling in the top side earlier. The trucks have already gone off the racetrack. It's mostly just the side-by-sides rolling it in top to bottom all over this racing surface. I talked to Matt Ward as well. He wanted to make sure that I mentioned HE Power Sports, who provides most of these side-by-sides that they roll in, all the track prep officials in those side-by-sides. HE Power Sports in Henrietta, Texas, and Broken Bow, Oklahoma, helping them prep this racing surface. Guys, I'm just looking forward to a great night. With this prep they've done and the extra water they've gone in and let it soak in a little bit deeper, we'll see with the extra cars how well it holds up like it has the last few nights. Guys, up top of the ramp.
Biggest night of the week, Earl.
Yes,
well,
sir.
so far.
Yeah.
79 cars drawn in tonight, but tonight we welcome back a guy that hasn't been here in 3 years. He's a 3-time Chili Bowl champion, Christopher Bell, back in the house tonight. We'll see what he can do. Looked good in the Race of Champions earlier this week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he showed some strength here, and
Yeah.
obviously he was able to get a golden driller here during the Tulsa shootout as well. And guys, another big thing I'm paying attention, how technical the track was last night, right? We mentioned it at the end of the broadcast that your teams that so-called have $1 million budget, they're doing okay. But the underdogs, they're really starting to show some strength here this week.
I'm excited tonight. We've got a good mix of some guys that we expect to be at the top of the podium at the end of the night, and then we've seen it this week. Last night, I think we saw 2 guys that we probably expected to see on the podium, but the night before, we had 2 guys that we probably did not expect to see on the podium, and that's the fun of the Chili Bowl. You watch guys kind of make themselves superstars, and we had that a couple nights ago.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And also technical inspection, that has been a story all week long here. We were caught up on a couple of stories that happened last night that there was some tire doping here inside the Expo Center, right? And they had to escort some people off the property because they got caught failing to the rules, and they got caught essentially tire doping.
Earl's still here, though.
Yeah,
still
we're
on
still
the ground.
we're
He's
good.
Still here. To
Mike
Hart's
Hess's
dismay.
car, it's still intact. Everything is good to go.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm interested in, is how's that car run later on in the week? What the bad juju that you brought to it?
I hope they replaced a fuel line that accidentally put a kink in it. But guys, it's only getting started here on the Thursday night portion of the 39th running of the Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Once again, folks, we thank you so very much for tuning in on FloRacing. When we get back, we're going to roll right to Dirt Draft Hot Laps.
As you take a look, continuing to work moisture into the surface as we prepare for the Dirt Draft Hot Laps here at the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink here on FloRacing. Caleb Hart, Chris Moore, Quentin Boyles in the booth with you tonight. Tonight, also, our drivers only segment coming up for our qualifiers as we will load this booth up with the likes of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Corey Day joining Clinton down here. Hank Davis scheduled to go to the infield. Alex Jankowski scheduled to go up to the top of the ramp, so it should be a whole bunch of fun. Drivers Only is coming tonight as well. Big Al will make his way into the booth for his second appearance after last year's 7-second delay needing original appearance. We've told Al to behave. We'll warn the parents out there a little bit later when Al comes in.
Yeah, he's gotten a couple of conversations so far. Just
he's a character.
Not full throttle. That's all we're asking for, Al. Just not full throttle.
There we go. I see that you have done no tinkering to your dirt draft lineup here.
No,
Chris.
I did already.
You've tinkered all
I did.
once.
I did it out at the table out there before I came in, and
Okay, because
it doesn't matter.
you got some work to do.
Well, here's the problem. I did the Race of Champions I did in our group, but not on the public league. And so I'm basically, behind.
Well, somehow the off tonight Chris Wilner is still sitting 17th overall and is at the top of our group. Kyler Hope running 2. Tyler McKim's 3. But just look at that grouping that you're in. There's a guy you got to stay ahead of there, right?
The guy next to me?
You're right next to you. One spot. Clinton, what's up with that?
Man, I've not been very good. Just tough luck. Guys, I had myself in good position. Didn't end up well.
Yeah.
I had Steven Snyder last night in good position. Just didn't end up well.
Well, he rebounded. He got to 11th.
Decent, yeah. But I think he could have been top 5.
For sure.
I mean, just
so
some
could you.
things like that. Zach
You could have
Hinton
too.
leading his heat race last night and flipping all on his own.
Yeah.
That's one. Just some things like that have hindered me from having some quality runs here.
Chili Bowl luck hits dirt draft as well.
It does, man.
See, my thing is I don't know who to root for at the top now. Like, Kyler hasn't gotten his Chick-fil-A breakfast, so that kind of rules him out.
Not once.
Tyler wins all the time, so it kind of rules him out.
Mm-hmm.
But do I really want to listen to Chris Wilner brag about how he won?
You could root for Matt Dillner on the content side to come from behind and
Could.
smoke all of them.
Yeah, he's
right?
got some work to do, though. Maybe Blake. Hopefully Blake can just have a big day. I'm rooting for Blake. Blake, get it done for me.
All right. I appreciate that.
I'm trying for you here, Chris.
You guys can play too, by the way. All you got to do is go to dirtdraft.com, sign up. You get to play there, or it is available. It's a really easy phone app.
Yeah,
If
download
you
the app.
Google or play. And if you sign up, if you're new to it, we're going to send you a T-shirt. So, free T-shirt just for downloading and hanging out and playing with us. And, hey, you end up winning these things. You get to accumulate points, and then you get to go to the Dirt Draft store and get even more cool stuff.
Should see if Dirt Draft can get the Caleb Hart and Chris Wilner fan club T-shirts in there as
Yes.
well for anybody who wants those.
I know the guy who prints the Chris Wilner fan club T-shirt,
Yeah.
and, maybe that's an idea.
Maybe we could revamp the Caleb Hart fan club, too.
I got my shirt ready to go. I just need it autographed by Caleb Hart.
Oh, that would be...
I think
The value of that would skyrocket.
You got to
mean
think it'd go up
Crater.
double. Might hit $10.
Crater.
Tomorrow's Paint the Bowl Pink night, and I have a pink
You have a
fan
surprise.
club shirt.
Yes.
I don't know who it is, but I do have a pink fan club shirt.
You have a pink Chris Wilner fan club T-shirt is what it is. That's going to be fantastic.
He's not listening to us either, so you're not ruining the
Okay.
surprise.
Okay.
He has no idea.
Well, there's the BR Motorsports Ignitioneering speed shot from turn number 1. Taking a look at it as, guys, Thursday night has been an interesting variable group of different drivers with one big name that dominated for a long time. Jerry Coons Jr. in 2015 and then 7 straight years of Christopher Bell, 2016 through 2022. Tanner Thorson, 2023, and Spencer Baston coming in, your defending champion. Winter's Performance bringing you your Thursday past winners here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. And hey, Bell, Thorson, Baston all in the field looking to extend that forward and do it again tonight.
Yeah, but as we've talked about, they've got their work cut out for them. One name we didn't mention earlier, who I think has got a shot to be a factor tonight, Carter Sarf and his Mobile One Chase Briscoe Racing entry. Sarf really opened some eyes last year, put it into the A on Saturday, and I definitely would not be surprised one bit if he's in play, mixing it up with those guys up front.
Well, there's Brady Bacon, one of our notable entries here from tonight, driving the Petroleum Alliance. Kelly Hink owned 21H. You'll see Brady coming up in a heat race relatively shortly here on the program, if I remember right. There is the aforementioned Carter Sarf running for Chase Briscoe, one of the nicer looking cars in the field.
Yeah, if you're a part of it, I would put him in the best looking car of the night category.
Ryan Burnell goes for Matt Wood Racing tonight, and Matt Wood Racing, the only car owner with 2 lock-ins to Saturday's A-Main so far. Burnell, chance to follow up in the footsteps of Shane Golubic and Landon Brooks and get her in. There is my vote for best appearing.
I agree.
It's singular vote. Jacob Denny tonight, who was just a hair away from winning the Turkey Night Grand Prix, running for Keith Kunz Motorsports in the 67W. Tanner Thorson making his appearance, the Smith Titanium James Dodge Auto Group sponsored car. Thorson, your Chili Bowl champion from 2 seasons ago. Ethan Mitchell, Little Bundy out there, the Bundy Built Motorsports number 19.
If he can keep all 4 wheels on the racetrack, he's had a little bit of trouble with that, I believe, the past couple of years, but there's no doubt there's speed in that race car.
And eyeballs for Christopher Bell. A lot of people coming up and talking to Christopher today, and he was very accommodating to a lot of fans. You can see the big, genuine smile from him. Happy to be here. Rolling off. He'll be in a little bit later heat race in the 71W. On the fence, Kyle Spence is in tonight, and Spence going to have a fun one coming up later on today.
Heat 6 outside of the front row, and Spence has 2 golden drillers to his name in the Tulsa shootout.
Your CB Industries entry for tonight is going to be a rookie with the Outlaws in the upcoming season, Chris Wyndham in the 89X with the NOS Energy Drink sponsorship. He will be going for Chad Boat tonight, who has looking for some continued success of his own after putting Dason Pursley in the show yesterday. So those are your notable entries, or at least some of the notable entries that are coming up on the program. We've got Dirt Draft Hot Laps that'll roll down the ramp in a matter of mere minutes. Stay tuned. More coming up on the pre-race show next as you're watching our coverage of the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink here on FloRacing. A very busy Flying A Motorsports pit cam shows drivers getting lined up and ready for Dirt Draft Hot Laps coming up in just a little while here on FloRacing. Glad to have you guys in with us as we get ready for our day, our fourth of 5 preliminary nights of action before Saturday's finale, going from like the P main all the way to the drop the checkered flag and the 40-lapper on Saturday night. The ultimate college fan experience is now here. Head to flowcollege.com to watch more than 12,000 college sporting events from 12 different conferences, including the vastly superior Big Ten, all in one place. That's right. Flow College, college sports. Live here. Just follow your team on Flow College. Well, guys, it was an interesting night last night. 2 more lock-ins, including a first-time winner in the field. We get a chance to check out the highlights from Wednesday night's cool preliminary qualifying night number 3, as aired live here on Flow.
Here at night number 3 of the Chili Bowl, it's showtime!
Jason Pursley leads him into turn number 1. Down the back straightaway he goes with Buckwalter following. Axum to the high side early. It's Pursley. Lap number 1, setting the pace.
Timmy B into the second spot. Oh, trouble on the front stretch.
That's Snyder Jr.
Snyder, and I couldn't tell who else.
Gotta be KJ Snow, yeah.
Oh,
KJ Snow
man.
with the white chassis. See it, KJ off the bottom, and Jet Yantis underneath KJ forces KJ up, and right there, Steven Snyder nowhere to go.
It's about as gentle into the wall as you could have hoped for any of them. So we'll see what the damage looks like.
Green off 4 this time, side by side, much better start. Mason Pursley rocks down to the bottom side in turn 1. Buckwalter in, so looking to take over the second place down the backstretch.
Almost a carbon copy as it ends up of that very first one. It's Pursley leading them down. Emerson's got 2, Buckwalter in 3. As everybody gets through lap number 1, Pursley sets the pace.
Emerson did get a better start, though, because Timmy Buckwalter had him pretty kind of cornered there for a second. Now Emerson's right there. Good battle for the lead into turn number 1. Axum to the high side. Pursley continues to pedal on the bottom.
This one heating up early, almost to the rear tires is Emerson as he paces the high groove, building rhythm up and around the top of the raceway. Pursley leads, Axum on the attack to the bottom of 1.
Axum ready to answer the call on that one. We're side by side, almost 3 wide down the backstretch. Axum to block the slide job into 3. Smart move by him. Pursley sticks to the bottom.
Emerson, Axum gonna lead this race. Pursley the first 3. Axum leads at lap number 4.
The advantage they have is right now the lap car is pretty much circling around the bottom of the racetrack, and there's a big slider by Corey Day. Move him into the 4th spot. Mitchell comes right back at it. Mitchell Moles takes the spot. Day cuts underneath it. Great battle for 4th, and here comes Kilgrave.
Nice crossover by Day in the middle of the corner. Can Moles return the favor? Coming off of 2, it looks like it's Day as he gets down to block the return move. Day flies the front end for a second, but he's got 4th away from Moles with Drake on the attack for 5th.
Drake rolls the ball. We got one into the wall. Sammy Swindell into the wall, and another car right with him.
Shelby
And
Hinton.
Shelby Hinton, I believe, up with the Beast car on the side.
This is, we can look at our iBox screens. It's a replay, and there you see the slider.
Axum has led since lap number 4. Pursley, Buckwalter, Day up to 4th as we're back to green.
Timmy Buckwalter goes to the high side. Does that open the door for Day? And here comes Dayson on the bottom.
Emerson got a way better start than he anticipated and slid himself in 1 and 2. Cost him a little bit of time. Pursley on the bottom, Axum on the high side, trying to get it wound back up.
Corey Day nearly got her on the bike there, battling for the 3rd spot. And oh boy, Day and Buckwalter side by side. Buckwalter lifts the front end.
Buckwalter's not going to give anything willingly. He makes Day fight for it. But here at the halfway point, Corey Day has got 3rd and is moving up. Yellow lights blink on Taylor Reimer, who was up to 8th, running 9th at the time together with Alex Bright.
Yeah, Bright involved again here.
Half of the main event to go, and Emerson on the hammer once again. Lots of speed into turn number 1. Axum up and around the top. Pursley digging down low, swims it off the cushion. Now Pursley again going way downtown, comes up just a little bit short as Axum leads.
And Corey Day with the mistake last time in 3 and 4 has brought Buckwalter back into the picture. Buckwalter down low. They fly into 3 and 4. Corey Day protects the slide job. Buckwalter going to have to move down the front stretch.
Is it just me, Clinton, or are they tiptoeing? This track doesn't seem to be really providing a lot of slingshot off the top or the bottom at this point.
No, that cushion's getting really hard to get a hold of. There's not a lot to lean on with forgiveness, and if you bounce off of it wrong, it's going to bite you.
Blake Hahn jumps to the high side now. Will go after Mitchell Moles. 2-3 car links separate them down the backstretch. Here comes Blake Hahn on the high side. Blake Hahn making hay, and the sun is shining on the 52.
Needs a caution, as he has got about as much speed as anybody out here at the moment. Driving up and around Moles and into at least a B-main start for Saturday, as we're down to 6 to go. Just 2 more times around for the driver who has won the Tulsa shootout, but he's looking for a prelim night win, coming into 1 to go, and Dason Pursley getting awfully close.
Dason Pursley chopping into that lead. White flag flies. 1 to go. It's 3 car links. Do you settle in or do you make a move? Oh, Dason misses in turn 2.
Turns down the hill, down the backstretch for the final time. Dason with the pick on Sammy, can't make a move. Emerson Axum off turn 4. Prelim white night win number 1, Emerson Axum.
Hey, we're back. And that's how it went down with Emerson Axum picking up his first preliminary night win here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. And Dason Pursley locking in right behind him. An interesting A-main, but when you put 2 very fast guys up on the front row, you can almost anticipate them as they rabbited from the field and everybody was playing catch-up the rest of the time.
Yeah, it kind of felt like as soon as you saw the lineup, it was those two's race to lose. Obviously, Corey Day came on and looked like he might have something, but those top 2, especially with the track position, definitely appeared to be, the strength of the field. And Dason said it. He got up to the top maybe one turn too late, and it allowed Emerson to slide him and get out in front of him. But yeah, it definitely seemed like those 2 from the jump were going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, we talked about, one of those guys was going to get the jump and be really hard to pass, just because you can set a pace like Emerson talked about to where you're just running as hard as you can without making mistakes. And, being in second place, that's really tough to run harder than that to close in and give yourself an opportunity to pass your leader without making a mistake that's going to cost you time and the inability. And, from there on out, you have Corey Day coming from, the front-ish of the field, but you knew he was going to be coming, and right in that second place, you're going to want to push really hard in that early middle part of the race so that Corey doesn't catch you and start racing and let your leader get away. So yeah, interesting, just kind of how all that played out last night with those 3 guys, really fast up front. And cool to hear Emerson talk about how he finally didn't mess one up in his own eyes. And that's really hard to do here. There's just so many things that can happen in the span of 30 laps inside this expo, whether it's yellows, other people coming into play, you make your own mistakes. So really, calm veteran race by Emerson there. And I think that's got to make him feel really good and have Keith feeling really good about their chances going into Saturday.
Keith was spicy on Twitter today.
Yes,
he was feeling of all the guys who have a need to justify themselves or defend themselves in this building. Keith is not on that list, and yet he did, and he called out some haters today on Twitter. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, and people have given Keith some a hard time about bringing 17 cars, 16 cars. You could bring 30 cars.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is kind of a money-driven sport, and if people want to pay Keith to drive one of his race cars to have the best opportunity they feel like they have to come here and win this race, then, why wouldn't he build as many cars as he possibly can and bring them? He builds very nice, safe race cars and puts talented drivers in them, gives himself opportunities to win. So I think it's just cool to see what Keith's built. And, anyone that's back home, is hopefully you have a race car and you know how much work it takes to keep one race car up front and in competition, and Keith's out here doing it with 16. So it's just it's crazy impressive what the Keith Kunz Motorsports as a whole, him, Keith, Pete, Jay Drake, there's a lot of guys that put in the time in the shop back home, and you see the outcome here, but there's way more than just rolling 16 race cars out of a trailer.
You've been involved on both sides of the equation here. You're currently on a 1-car solo team where, it's you, your car owner, putting in the work to get that thing ready to go, and you've been on bigger teams, 3-4-car operations here within the building before. Yeah. Now, granted, it's not 16, but there's got to be a scaling difference between I have my 1 car and this is what I'm working on versus the power it takes to field multiple entries, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things back of the shop that you got to think of or take into consideration of when you're trying to field that many race cars. And 4 is the most that I've done, but each one can be a tiny bit different, or you just want to be prepared to handle whatever situation is thrown at each of those 16 cars. So I can't imagine the countless hours that those guys spent back in Columbus, Indiana, inside the Keith Kunz Motorsports shop trying to get ready. And, what they've shown up here and been able to do year after year is incredible. And just a testament to those guys and how far they've pushed midget racing to get to the point where we're at.
Well, guys, we're going to fire up headset number 4 here for just a second because Zach Roll has joined us in the booth. Did I say that right? Is it Roll? Roel?
Rowell.
Rowell.
But
Okay.
I've been called worse.
All right.
Today.
Well, you are the man who was outside today feeding us delicious smoked meats with Hasty Bake.
That's right.
So it is Hasty Bake night here at the arena. And,
That's right.
Did I see a pan come in with you? Is that a thing that happened, Chris
I would
Roll?
never come empty-handed.
Oh,
We appreciate you for that.
are
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Hasty Bake jumping on board and doing a lot of sponsorship in motorsports, including with the Kubota High Limit Sprint Car Series that's seen here on FloRacing. And tonight here in the arena, tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Yeah, so we are a charcoal grill company, started in 1948 here in Tulsa, and our grills are still made here in Tulsa.
Okay.
So we're really proud of the still made in the USA thing, and we love racing. We love dirt racing especially, and got this awesome opportunity to be a part of the Chili Bowl Nationals. And so we're here, we're out front feeding people, just having folks try food off the grill. And it's been great. I mean, we couldn't have ordered better weather today.
Oh, no, today was
Yeah.
there's never a bad day for grilling, you know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
But at the same time, there are some that are better than others. I had the chicken with the Carolina sauce on it
Nice.
upstairs, just that little bit of pep to it. That
Yep.
thing was delicious.
Yeah,
Incredible.
we are really excited about what we brought today. And one of the guys out there cooking is a chef over a bunch of restaurants here
Okay.
in Tulsa, and that's his new sauce that is getting ready to be bottled and getting ready to be for sale. It's not for sale yet, but we got a whole bunch of it, and we're putting it on the sandwiches today.
Now, tell me more about your grill, because in the little that I know of it, it can do all kinds of different stuff, right?
Right. So the thing that kind of sets ours apart from other charcoal grills is the versatility.
Mhm.
So, a lot of times you look on a back porch and a guy's got a smoker and a grill and a pizza oven.
Mhm.
Our grill can do all of that. So you have the ability to sear a steak or grill your chicken or your hamburgers, or you can use a heat deflector on it and cook indirect and be able to smoke on there as well. I always say anything that you can bake in your oven, you can bake on our grills. We do chocolate chip cookies on ours all the time.
Wow.
And it's outstanding.
This
Wow.
sounds like the
That's my
kind of
language
thing.
now.
Yeah, this sounds
Yeah.
like the kind of thing, Chris Moore, that you're going to need when I come to visit you in the summer.
See what we could do. Maybe Hasty Bake will sponsor New Egypt Speedway. We can make things happen.
There you go.
You know a guy. Well, very cool that you guys have jumped onto motorsports, and again, Tulsa-based company supporting here
Right.
the Chili Bowl Nationals and hearing this, and yeah, it was absolutely delicious up front. It was nice to see so many smiling, happy, fed people on their way
That's
into
it.
the building today, right?
That's it, man. I mean, what a better way to kick off than, who doesn't like a free chicken slider?
That's
on
right.
their way in.
For more information, where can they find you guys online and social media?
Yeah, so we're on all the major social media platforms, and then hastybake.com. You can check us out there. Or if you're in Tulsa, our retail store is just about 3 miles from here.
All right. So if you guys are still coming down for
Right.
the final 2 days here at the Chili Bowl Nationals, go check them out. And we've got some tasty treat sensations coming up to us right before Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Thank you so very much for coming down and saying hi for a minute. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. So Scott Rowell, got it. Rowell with Hasty Bake here with us, bringing us some treats down here. And yeah, very cool thing they had going on out in front. It is Hasty Bake night in the arena tonight here at the Chili Bowl Nationals.
Good night to sponsor. Again, Thursday night, a big night, and great to have the folks from Hasty Bake not only sponsoring the night, but be here and be a part of it. It's great when you don't just have a sponsor, but a partner, somebody that wants to come be a part of it, not just have a sign up. So
And that's the way that a lot of motorsports advertising has transitioned. Hey, I don't just want to slap my name on it. You need to give me an opportunity to get in front of
Yeah.
all these people and show it what it is, to the point where last night, we had a group of people who went out and about, and what did they do? They found a race car sponsor's moonshine to put down inside of. I wouldn't know whose that was or what it was, but Clinton,
Yeah.
Blake, and Earl got into the
I saw
dog
they
water.
had a little dog water. limited supply back there.
Which, makes sense as to why the 1:30 meeting started at 1:31 today, thanks to Blake and Earl.
Guys, when we had our safety debrief down at the hotel lobby,
Safety debrief.
we were drinking some of that dog water. Man, is that stuff good? It really got us through the night. We went out to the casino. Some people joined us. Some people didn't join us. We're not going to talk about who. But, we had another great night. Tyler McKim, Dad.
Took more BP.
Yeah, took more BP last
practice.
night. Yeah, just trying to lob them up there. You didn't do so well. But
I appreciate you guys doing a safety meeting before you go out.
Absolutely.
When I drove for Rams Racing, it was imperative that we had safety meetings at the end of every night. And before the A main and before the heat races on the night we weren't racing. And
this was a safety
we were very
debrief.
safe.
This was in advance of the night really getting going, right?
Yeah, this is just guidelines.
Well, we have another one lined up tonight.
We do.
And Clinton Boyles is going to be our special guest.
Yep.
So we had some Blue Yummies donated to us. So Clinton, buddy.
Yeah. Rod and Supply coming in clutch, sponsoring the Flow broadcast, sponsoring the Chili Bowl, sponsoring us some drinks so we stay hydrated so we can be very safe throughout the night.
Absolutely.
Very, very safe. We're all about safety here at the Chili Bowl.
Number one priority.
Number one.
Earl, you stay safe up there, okay?
We'll do, guys.
We're
going to be, Blake and I obviously be at the top of the ramp. We'll be zipping around here and getting all kinds of
If Blake and Earl need to go anywhere to stay safe, my trailer has a cooler full of safe things in there that you can
noted.
You can read the label, make sure you're staying safe, and you'll be all good up there.
Consume responsibly, whatever
we're
that
just
safety stuff is.
Safety.
When you're being safe, there's no
Everything's
amount
responsible.
of responsibility. Yeah, you're always responsible.
When you think of responsibility, Earl and I are top of the list.
First image you would see in the dictionary would be you and Earl.
Would be Earl climbing into Mike Hess's race car.
That's first team All-American safety right there.
Darn right.
I'll call it now. I bet you that car gets faster on Saturday.
Not a
To
chance.
all of our surprise.
Not with that King fuel line.
Yeah, exactly.
I put it 50-50 if the thing runs on Saturday.
I'm just saying it's a good thing it was on jack stand so the shocks didn't take any beating while Earl climbed in.
All right, we got cars in the track. Their draft hot laps are just about to kick off. The cars from heat races 1 and 2 will make their way down and onto the track. And we will see if they split them up. Last night when we had 10 and 9 car sessions, we ended up giving them each an individual hot lap rather than do what we normally do and combine them up. So getting a look, Chance Hull, one of the best looking cars in the building in the 54C out of Kennydale, Texas, fires off. Hull in 54C. Saw him on practice day, and that car really jumps out at you. Owned by Jeff Martinez, a spike with an S-Slinger inside of it. Trey Zorn in the 3Z. He goes outside row number 2 on heat race 1 from Russell, Kansas. Behind him, your 14.
Jeffrey Newell.
Jeffrey Newell, Sand Springs, Oklahoma.
2022 Outlaw Non-Wing Tulsa Shootout champion.
It's running for Jet Motorsports, a spike with an S-Slinger in it. Stassa family brought a whole bunch of race cars here to the building this week. There's Jeff Stassa and the spike with a Stanton SR 11X underneath it. Welcome back, Jeff, longtime competitor here at Chili Bowl Nationals.
Yeah, he'll be outside pole of heat race number 2. There's Joe Perry, the 28J.
One of 4 drivers eligible for the Shayna Barnes Best of the Northwest Award, which is up to $2,300 for the top finishing driver from Washington, Oregon, British Columbia, Montana, Idaho. I believe that is the range. Gary Taylor, Tanner Holmes, Robbie Price, and Perry are the 4 who are eligible for that.
Well, he's got a shot.
Guys, Dave Sharpley wants in on the safety meeting. I told him, well, we might be talking about some different kind of safety.
Dave, if you would like to come out to the open house that we're having in early March, whatever kind of meeting you want to have, we will arrange.
Yep. In all seriousness, for any safety products, seat inserts, anything you need, Dave Sharpley, Sharp Advantage, they are your people to get a hold of. Dave and Tina do amazing work keeping all of us safe. I was thankful to have Dave's products in my car when I crashed the other night. Tried to make sure the gravity in turn 1 still works. And it does.
Confirmed.
Yep.
Tony Helton's the 81G from Spencer, Indiana. He'll be pulling in, so it looks like we will be dividing the hot lap sessions up once again. 1 heat, 1 hot lap. At least as of right now. Brody Fusen in the 51F. Out of Bakersfield, California. He has got probably the most dreaded pill, dead last in heat race number 1 for Brody, as he will start 9th in that first group.
Yeah, he was.
Jacob Harris would probably like a word on that one.
I had Brody Fusion keyed up on my dirt draft and had to rethink after I saw his starting position.
Yeah. Yeah, not ideal.
Hey, Caleb Hart.
Yes.
Gravy just sent me a message that Tyler McKim going to have to check his invoices because he did send Flo an invoice for that fuel line.
And that'll end Earl Hoon jumping into race cars for the pit walk going forward.
I'm sure he went with the Brown and Miller race.
Go with the best.
Ooh, boy.
No push lock hose.
If you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
In car number 3P, that is Drake Edwards. Jerry Petty-owned car. Spike with an SR11, featuring the Avanti Windows and Doors sponsorship. Drake's got an interesting starting spot inside row 3 here in this first heat race coming up.
Clinton, as we go green here, I just remembered we have the proper tools for window cleaning if you wanted to partake in that at all.
Bradley Fazzard out of Bonnedale, Arkansas, the 938. That is the highest numbered car in the field this year.
Track looking a little more greasy tonight than we've seen. Still in the mid to upper 6-second range. Normally we're low 12s right about now. A lot of guys really tight.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Hello, we see you, Drake Edwards. Good to see you.
Yeah, nearly into the wall over here.
Got to be committed to that throttle pedal right now.
Man.
There you go. Attaboy.
What'd you say, Clinton? Hot lap, scariest time of the night. They've made it a little less scary now, for sure.
Man, I'm jealous of these guys. I wish I could get out there and just go.
Fusen had to have that thing cranked all the way to the left to get it to come around the rest of that corner.
Yeah, would you rather be out there with a few more cars and the racetrack a little bit more worked in, or out there on that with less cars?
I'll take that with less cars. That's fine.
So Fusen, Edwards, Perry, Jensrud, and Zorn 1 through 5 early, expecting those numbers to drop quickly here as the second hot lap session will get underway with heat race number 2 cars moving from the middle and out and onto the speedway, including John Klabundi's 77J out of Fort Calhoun, Nebraska. Jeff Stossa, we talked about, out of Kansas in the 91. Stossa goes outside row number 1. Klabundi comes from inside row number 2. Jeff's cars fire up. The 17X you see is Gage Laney. Laney's from Owasso, Oklahoma, and he has got the pole for our second heat race. Laney in the 17 scored a 17X, owned by Next Level Metal. It's a Ripper with an S-Slinger in it. 81G, Tony Helton goes outside row number 3. As you look, Mariah Eade in the 17E. She'll start 8th in this. Mariah, the Keith Kunz Motorsports car. KKM Kerbag Gachanian. They are the Link chassis in the field. Speedway Toyota's underneath them. 00K is Scott Kruder from Cowlesville, New York. He's got a wide and expansive racing background that includes but is not limited to 360 sprint cars, running for Brian Buckwalter here. Joe Boyle's 98B.
I bet he's cussing the crew chief right now.
I was just going to say, I know why Clinton stood up now.
Yeah.
I don't know, crew chief leave her a little snug or what?
It's definitely snug. That's okay. He'll be fine.
Let's work through it for now, Dad. Just work through it for now.
We're getting showered today.
Yeah, it's not quite clumps, though. They're like pellets, kind of.
They're getting some pretty long hot laps here, too, although it's brought the track down to a 12-2 with Eid, Fusen, Stasa, Wyatt, and Kruder. 1 through 5 here in Dirt Trap Hot Laps. We've got 7 sessions to go, as we'll get groups 3 and 4 to roll down. Take a quick break. We'll be back with that Hot Lap session coming up next. Watching live coverage of the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Here on Hot Lap session, you'll see the drivers rolling around and getting engine heat from heat races 3 and 4, and then heat race 3 will stay out there for their 9-car session. As you get a look, that is the throttle. Shane Cottle, Kansas, Illinois, listed hometown for the 7M. Cottle has had some standout moments here in this building, running for the Ramco Speed Group boys. Spike with a Speedway Toyota underneath of it.
One of the Glenn Stiers Racing entries, Jay Mallory, a 358 modified driver at the Schweeken Speedway.
St. Catharines, Ontario.
He's going to be pole of heat number 3 right alongside Shane Cottle, so he's going to have his work cut out for him as a Chili Bowl rookie.
A.J. Johnson from Oskaloosa, Iowa. Johnson in the 22S GR Motorsports car. Spike with an SR11, sponsored by one of my favorite places in all of Iowa, the Jersey Freeze, is on the list there. The 3 years I went back to the Nationals, I stayed in Newton and stopped at Jersey Freeze every day on the way in.
I could go for some Jersey Freeze.
How good does that sound, Blake?
Lots of car rides growing up, driving 10 miles south of Monroe for Jersey Freeze.
C.J. Leary next in line for the Alex Bowman Racing Camp. He's a 5-time A-Main starter. He's got a great opportunity. Heat number 3, he will roll from the trunk, starting 9th in heat number 3. If the track's got a little bit of widening out, keep an eye on Leary.
Let's say one of the early upsets, considering the speed that we have seen out of the Alex Bowman Racing cars, is that we haven't had a lock-in for them yet. Danner on Monday night. KTJ had a great starting spot on Tuesday before problems befell him. Jake Swanson last night didn't end up making its way forward into the top 2.
Yeah, Swanson was the only one that didn't really get an opportunity to really show some speed like we saw out of Danner and KTJ.
Joe Walker from Harrisonville, Missouri is going off 9th in heat race 4. That's the red 51 car you see in your screen. That car, self-owned. It's a Spike with a Fontana by Felker underneath of it. As you get a look, Cade Morton, the 8M. Boy, Chance Morton surely had a good ride at times going. Coweta, Kansas. He'll start outside row number 4 in that 3rd heat race. One of 3 different 17s who will be in heat race 3 and 4. That is your pole sitter for heat race 4. Braxton Cummings from Bedford, Indiana, drives the 17L.
Good amount of wingless 410 experience for Braxton Cummings.
The rookie to this one of the Michael Kuntz cars. Michael Kuntz, not Keith Coons. Don't get him confused. No relation.
That's the 13 of Brandon Boggs, who's a micro sprint winner this season at Port City.
Tops up here, bud. Quality Threads car. Boggs, rookie, apparently gets rookie designation here for this race. So we'll look at the other 17 car. Should be Cody Beard's 17E. Carter Starf inside row number 3 coming up in heat race number 4. Just got word from the truck. Riker Pace, who was outside row number 2 in the 4th heat race, just went up the ramp. So there's a look at the NOS Energy ramp cam and Pace from nearby Collinsville. Not going to get a chance to hot lap here. They'll go to work trying to diagnose what's wrong with it.
Yeah, and behind the wheel of a J Mounts car is Riker Pace this week. But hey, if you're going to have problems, as long as they're not terminal, you hope it's now. They can get them corrected. Hopefully he can come back out for a heat race. Rodney Westhafer going from the 4th spot out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. He will go from 4th in heat race number 3. Picked up a midget win at the Linda Speedway this season.
One of the elite chassis that is powered by a Honda here in this event. So Sarf is already the fastest car on the track, and Leary is right behind him. As they quickly eclipse the time of Ede and Fusen. And they're running right next to each other as well, as you get a look at Sarf trying to rip off another better lap. Leary, first guy into the 11-second bracket, 11.9.
Sarf close, 12.050 for Carter Sarf, and we got a yellow couple of cars together. The
17L, yep,
yeah, Braxton
that's
Cummings. And the 14D, David Gasper. 2 cars together over there in 1 and 2.
So Leary, the Thursday night entry for Alex Bowman Racing, and we'll get our first look at the IBOC replay. In the corner they go, and stalls her out and collects Gasper in the process. Big thank you to IBOC. They have been with us for replay all through the Tulsa Shootout and here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. Amongst the many great sponsors that we have bringing you the broadcast, got to thank Hyper Racing and Race Car Engineering, as well as Competition Suspension, Rod End Supply, Impact Race Gear, Wedge Carts, TJ Forged, and Buzzy Racing, amongst others who help bring you every lap of the Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink here on Flow. Sending those drivers up, we will see heat race number, or sending a couple of those cars up.
Caleb Hartriker pace down here, changing the battery and the ignition box in the 8R. Also thought maybe low on fuel, but they're going to try the battery and ignition box first.
All right, thank you, Blake. So up the ramp with that group, down the ramp with another. Threw a lot of cars out there for that session, so starting to get to the point where we're combining up the hot lap groups and rolling through the program. So we are less than half an hour away from opening ceremonies here on the Thursday night edition Hasty Bake qualifying night here at the Chili Bowl Nationals.
Yeah, group number 3 rolling down the ramp and onto the racetrack. So that'll be the cars in heat races 5 and 6.
Quiet on the ramp for right now. See how long that lasts over the course of the day. Is haven't seen the big emotional blow up yet. Gotten close a couple of times. Blake up top, get a chance to get a word with Mariah Ede.
Yeah, she was fastest in her hot lap group. Mariah, what are you telling the crew here? You know, track definitely a lot different than what you're going to see in your heat race.
Oh yeah, the track's a little greasy right now, but we know when we go out for our heat race, it's going to slick off a little bit. Hopefully create 2 grooves so we can pass some cars since we start second to last. So, you know, I'm just telling the guys, they know what they're doing, so I'm just going to trust what they're doing and just drive it.
What's the plan for 2025? We saw you run the midget a little bit last year, but you've been starting to run the sprint car a little more.
Oh yeah, 2025 is full of sprint cars. I love sprint cars back home. It's easy to run with all the good guys in California. Like, you go out to California and drive sprint cars. It's not like driving anywhere else. You're going to get good competition every single week. And, you know, breaking my back in October, it's just my first race back, so I'm just really excited to get in the car again.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Kayla, Mariah Ede, we'll see her in July up at Skagit, she said.
For the biggest paying 360 race in the country?
Absolutely, $26,000 to win.
Yeah, buddy. Mariah made Speed Week for the Northwest as well, so she almost got all the way up. We'll see her this year. As here is heat race number 5 drivers in the always popular in your fantasy drafts, your dirt draft, etc. pick Matt Westfall from Pleasant Hill, Ohio, in the all-black 54 car, starting 9th in heat race 5. Good scoring chance for him.
Yeah, he's going to be a popular one today, the Ohio native.
You doing any tinkering yet? No?
No,
I'm not
good.
seeing-
I'm
you
good.
Sure?
I'm happy.
You sure?
And again, it really, in the long run, does not matter because once I missed the Race of Champions, I was out from the jump. So
You missed the Race of Champions, you're still ahead of me? Boy,
What can I say, Clint? I don't know.
it's tough because I won the Race of Champions. So
You've been really bad.
You were darn near 5 for the top 5, weren't you, or something ridiculous like that?
yeah,
Race champion.
I was super good.
Yeah, tied
So-
for the win amongst the entire country.
Yeah. And then Tuesday happened, and it's all been downhill from there.
Henry Chambers is the 17H on the racetrack that you see out of Baldwin City, Kansas. Featuring the Sonic logo, Sonic Racing, in fact, on there. Although, I don't know, Frozen Slush sounds good right about now.
And cherry limeade, that's where it's at.
Route 44 Cherry Limeade
Yeah, they don't make them big enough.
at happy hour. Chambers is in a Rick Horn car. It's a Ripper with an Esslinger BB7 powering it. As we get to see one of the familiar Dave.com cars. I love the green for Kyle Bielman in the 31. Spike with a Stanton SR11X powering it in the familiar Dave.com sponsorship. Bielman will go inside row number 4 here in the 5th heat race. 21D is your pole sitter, Justin Dickerson out of Pittsburgh, Indiana. Dickerson, family-owned car, link chassis with a Toyota underneath.
41P Parker Jones out of Blue Mounds, Wisconsin.
Bullet by Spike with a Esslinger Honda
He
Azure engine package.
ran 10th in this on Thursday night last year, did Parker Jones.
There's Brady Bacon. Bacon inside row number 3, the Broken Arrow Bandit, the Macho Man, whichever you want to call him. Bacon starting 5th in the heat race. Your multiple-time United States Auto Club National Sprint Car Champion.
And a guy who's gotten it done frequently here. 5-time A-main starter is Brady Bacon.
Inside row 2 for the 6th heat race with the driver of the 81F, the Micro Goat. Frank Flood's racing for Jody Rosenboom here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. Spike with an Esslinger and the My Race Pass sponsorship.
Clinton went full send on some big dogs tonight, I think.
Yeah.
in Dirt draft.
Really?
Yeah.
Stars and Scrubs?
When when you're that deep, you got nothing but a prayer and a pick.
All right.
Although there's, and we're not going to give it away, but there is one guy severely undervalued. I would guess he's going to be the most
Super
commonly
highly selected.
Yeah, most commonly selected one. So hopefully he doesn't.
It's Joe
let some
Boyles.
folks
Everyone
down.
should pick Joe Boyles.
He's in your lineup.
Yeah. Yeah.
If there's only one guy that picks him, Clinton, it damn well better be you.
Surely somebody will. I can't be the only one.
How quick can I download Dirt Draft and have a 1-driver entry for the night?
No, you got to have 2.
I gotta have at least 2?
Earl Hoon's got to be the other one in the Mike Hess car.
Oh, absolutely.
He's scratched till tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, he's got to race on Friday. He's got to go with the big guys for sure.
Yeah, he's not scared like I am. Logan will tell you that.
Tanner Thorson outside row number 3, your Chili Bowl champion from 2022. Tanner has got an interesting heat race to come through as he's going to be fighting with Kyle Spence, Frank Flood, and more. See how well he can pull that off. Behind him will be Cole Garner in the 75G. He starts 8th out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We are ready to go. Green flag is out. Only one driver's made it to the 11th bracket so far, and that is CJ Larry. Take a look at Matt Westfall ripping a tear off as he hauls the mail into turn number 3. Dan Bennett is in the X car directly ahead of Westfall. Frank Flood gets to 11.919. He's the fastest on the track now. Brady Bacon trying to work underneath Catherine Legge. And will make the pass. Legge, the IndyCar star, taking her try here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. Tanner Thorson doing 11.828. Run up on the back of traffic and that'll slow his roll. Flood pressuring the back of Brady Bacon.
Caleb, update.
Yes.
I just suck.
Good to know.
I
What else?
Clint Dahl from Dirt Draft took care of me. He copied over my Race of Champions roster from our private league
Okay.
onto the public league. So
Ooh, did you just
do not have
ascend?
an excuse. No.
Okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
just that bad.
That makes me
so
feel a
unfair.
little better.
Yeah, I'm just back there with
Yeah.
you, Clinton. So, and I believe I'm tied with Brandon Paul, one of our content guys.
All right. Well, Blake claims that's unfair.
But I like Chris, so I'm okay with it.
Well,
That's
what's your excuse, Blake? Well, you don't need an excuse.
I don't have
He's-
one.
Yeah, you're gonna win.
He-
Yeah.
I don't know about
yeah.
that.
Blake, get it done for us, pal.
Yeah, I'll try. Just for you and I.
More of Dirt Draft Hot Laps coming up next as you are watching our coverage of the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink here on FloRacing. Another group of cars has made their way for Hot Lap session here at the Dirt Draft Hot Laps as you get a good look at the guy who has got 7 preliminary night wins on Tuesdays and 3 golden drillers to go with it. Christopher Bell on racetrack, the non-wing outlaw winner, the Tulsa Shootout, the Race of Champions winner the other night, and Bell, confidence is high. He is ready to rock here tonight as he's got an interesting heat race coming up. He's going outside row number 2 in the 7th heat race. It's a pretty good starting spot for him, depending on how well Casey Schumann's going to get to start in the row ahead of him.
Right, I was going to say, the front row is not too bad, and the defending Thursday night winner, who's on your screen right now, is also in that heat race. So if it doesn't go right from the start, Bell might have some work to do.
Indeed. Spencer Baston in the 1S out of Lebanon, Indiana. Going to go run for Jason Myers coming up this year in the high limit room with the Kubota High Limit Racing Series. There is the second Swindell Motorsports Bertrand entry out of Sammy's pit area in Jordan Mallett. Mallett, the ASCS racing driver, running the 91S here this weekend.
got to talk to Sammy earlier this afternoon and stopped by, and he said that they got all new bird cages for their cars this year, Jordan's and his, and put them on, not thinking much of it. Found last night after his race that those bird cages not come with clips to hold the bearings in.
Oh, boy.
The bearings were clogged and had no grease in them, and just, weren't assembled quite the way he would have expected them to be coming, ready to put on the race car. So that was part of some of the issues that Sammy thinks he was maybe dealing with late last night. Said he started off the night feeling really good and just all night got worse and couldn't really figure out why, and thinks that part of that is the issue. So found it on Jordan's car also, able to fix that. We'll see how Jordan looks today.
It's a 45H, the Cobble Hill, British Columbia driver of Robbie Price. Price, the Saratoga Motorsports Park sponsored car, running for Johnny Herrera Racing. Car number 21B, that's Frank Beck, Parrish, Florida driver. Beck, Bob Jordan owns that car. It is a Ripper chassis with a Garrity Chevrolet underneath the hood.
It's Landon Crawley in the 11, the IPC, very sharp looking car. Teammate Brenham locked in already.
Casey Schumann, we talked about a second or two ago. It's a new ride for him. Out of Rattlesnake Bend, Arizona, the 21X for Schumann, as he now rolling around for Sean Deskins. Spike with a Toyota underneath it. Chris Wyndham, you spent all year with Chris running up and down the road in the sprint cars. Back for another run here in the Chili Bowl Nationals.
Easy, Chris.
Left side of the car hiking up. Yeah. Left rear in the air, okay. Or left front in the air, okay. Left rear in the air, that's scary.
He spent all summer driving a race car that was too tight. I doubt he wants to do it down here, too.
Tom Dunkel, 17. Jordan Mallett in the 91. We're underway for this hot lap session. Christopher Bell, 0.3 faster than the field, and then Baston goes quicker and Mallett goes quicker. Yellow lights on. Dunkel in the 17 stops.
17A, Tom Dunkel, slated to roll off 7th in heat race number 8. Dunkel does a lot for West Coast Sprint Car Racing, sponsors a lot of race cars, owns a lot of race cars out there, part of the JFM stable here at the Chili Bowl. Inland rigging on the side of that car. Saw him pick up a lot of wins with Jake Swanson, Ricky Lewis, sponsored Hunter Schoenberg throughout the summer. It's Cole Bodine in the Cruz Pedregon 1A. Spike with an SR11. Taken care of out of the AME camp. We've seen Cole Bodine in the AME cars off and on for a few years here.
He's another guy who would argue over what the worst pill in the bucket was. Rolling off the pole of a heat race with Schumann alongside, Bell and Baston in the field as well.
At the same time, knowing Cole a little bit, I don't think that's going to bug him too much.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't race as much as he used to, but he's an A-main starter here. Made an A-main start back with Clausen Marshall. This arguably his best midget track, so Cole should feel right at home. Christopher Bell, Casey Schumann in line there. Both cars were really fast first round.
See what happens when we give him a second to settle down and make one more big run at this. 77 of Dalton Gabbard, your pole sitter for heat race number 8. He's looking sporty up there. He's 5th quick. There's Jordan Mallett, the 91S, fastest car on the racetrack so far.
Christopher just trying to find some space right here just to get one corner at speed. Can't even do that.
Not much to be had.
To survive. Bradley Cox jumps to second quickest at 11.526. Jordan Mallett, though, will stay at the top with an 11.493. But Bradley Cox jumps to second. Baston and Bell, top 4 now in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, all out of that session.
One more group to go.
One more set to go. Those will be the cars in heat race number 9.
Big thank you to NOS Energy Drink, not only presenting sponsor of our program, but they've had the ramp cam all week long.
And they're handing out NOS up there at the front entrance.
Crack, crack. NOS 0 number 1 of the day for me in hand, ready to roll. I keep looking for the Sonic Sour to get to Blake to make him happier.
We don't need to make Blake that happy.
Let's check in up top. Earl Hoon Jr., who'd you find for the K1 Race Gear interview?
You got Tanner Thorson here with me. He's going to start outside row number 3 in heat race number 6. Looking at the track conditions right now, looks like this is the heaviest it's been so far this week. And with you having a pretty late heat race, hopefully the track can widen out a little bit, and you guys can maybe start to search, especially with you starting in 6th.
Yeah, hopefully. You obviously don't want a single lane racetrack, but we got to get what we got to get. And yeah, I think we got a good enough car. We couldn't really get a clean lap, and we're still on the top of the board there in hot laps for what the track wasn't terrible. So we'll keep at it here and try to go forward.
When we're done here this weekend, it's time to get ready for the outdoors season. So are you ready for the upcoming 2025 racing season with High Limit?
Mentally, yes, not physically. We got a lot of work to do. We've been kind of midget mode for the last, about a month or so, I'd say, ever since I got back from the West Coast swing of the midgets. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do, but I'm excited for it. And, I just can't thank Rod Gross enough for giving me the opportunity to go back at it again for a second year.
Tanner Thorson, guys, going for another driller here this weekend.
Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Tanner. As he'll go to work, getting ready for his heat race. Jacob Denny, the throwback Toyota scheme out of the Keith Kuntz Motorsports Camp from Galloway, Ohio. It's been fun to watch him ascend the ranks just step by step, broke into things by winning about 1,700 main events with D2 midgets out in the Midwest, and he's just picked up a little bit of ride, and now sitting in the seat for Keith, going tonight inside row number 2 in heat race number 9.
And he's had success in this building as well. He's made his prelim A 4 times, finished 6th on his prelim night in 2021, and again, it's just going to be fun to watch that race car go in circles around this racetrack.
26J, your pole sitter for heat race number 9 from Vidor, Texas. That is Jacob Harris. Harris has picked up Wing 305 sprint car wins down in Texas Sprint Series, amongst others. Speaking of Wing sprint car success, Ben Schmidt, the 35S from Plymouth, Wisconsin, inside the 3rd row. And good up there with MSA amongst the series that run in that area.
Yeah, very good 360 sprint car racer up in the area.
Row number 2 is interesting in this 9th heat race because on the inside is Jacob Denny, and outside of him, it's Little Bundy, Ethan Mitchell from Mooresville, North Carolina. So those two going to have a battle on their hands. It is the Spike chassis with the Bundy-built motor underneath it. 84J starts dead last here in heat race number 9. Jesse Chappell out of Wichita, Kansas.
I believe, is that Riker Pace?
Pace
back
had
out?
pulled off and didn't get his
Yeah.
hot lap earlier. He was supposed to be in
Heat race.
I want to say 2, but
That's what I thought.
4.
4.
Heat race 4, so he'll get his hot lap now and get a chance to come out later. That is one of those things where they are watching for guys who are trying to pull a fast one, going, maybe my car's, quote, not running just to get a chance at a later racetrack that's closer to the heat race time. They typically do not allow that. So they've caught that more than a few times, allowing him a courtesy of going now.
That was the 29K Brian Harvey out of Blanchard, Oklahoma. And he will go from 6th in heat number 9, going from 7th in heat number 9. The car on your screen there, Matt Sherrill out of Collinsville, Oklahoma.
It's the Mongoose, Matt Sherrill.
The Mongoose.
Yeah.
I like it. Second Opinion Auto Center cars have had their moments here at the Chillyville Nationals this year. Always feels like Ryan Bernal is in a late heat race. Doesn't matter what night he goes. Always seems like he's rolling out like heat 8 or heat 9.
Yeah, he's going to be right in front of that battle. that you talked about in row number 2 between the man on your screen there and Ethan Mitchell. Bernal will go from the pole, or excuse me, the outside pole, as Jacob Denny has now gone to the top of the speed chart, 11.330.
He's fast, and he is glued to this racetrack right now. Little Bundy going underneath Schmidt. Trying to get him some free sailing here for a lap or 2.
And he's already gone to 3rd quickest at 11.526. And now Denny, looks like Denny and Bernal's opportunities at a clean lap are just about done.
Bundy isn't. Bundy to the top of the charts, 11.278.
Yeah.
Really good lap there for Ethan.
Walked into a conversation going on between Denny and Mason Hannigan here earlier today, and Jacob trying to tell Mason, hey, you had a good night last night. It was just one big moment that you didn't.
Yep.
So
One boo-boo.
watching 2 young guys talk racecraft and how to try to put things in your rearview mirror here in the building. Well, Ethan Mitchell, fastest tonight in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. All right, so you've got a minute or 3 here to tinker, because we're going to be into opening ceremonies relatively quick. If you want to make one more big, you sure, Chris? You're confident?
I'm good.
No more
I'm
big
happy.
swings.
My driver's at the top of the speed chart. After one of my drivers is
Okay.
on the top
Are
of the
you
speed
willing
chart.
to tell the rest of the world who was in your dirt draft?
Well, I just gave him one. I mean, because he was just out there.
That's only 20%.
No, I like Chris Wilner's strategy. After the green flag drops, if Clinton tells his, I'll tell mine.
I'll tell mine. I'm not scared.
All right.
Go for it.
I got Chris Carroll. He was my first guy. I like Chris Carroll. A lot of experience.
Samesies.
My kind of lower budget pick to allow myself for the rest is Justin Dickerson. He's in a very nice car, Toyota engine, rolling off from the front row of a heat race.
Okay.
You know, I'd love to think that if we get a green flag heat race and maybe some cars in heat race 5 hold up some guys towards the back, and he can run away and click off 8 laps as fast as possible.
I can see it.
That's my hope and my prayer.
I can see it.
From there, I don't have to justify. I got Brady Bacon, C.J. Leary, and Carter Sarf.
Yeah, I've got Leary and Chris Carroll as well. I differ, though, with you. I have Christopher Bell in mine and Ethan Mitchell. And then I have Michael Hubert. I thought Michael was good value, ran well at the shootout. And I talked to him at the shootout, and he said he feels like this is as good of an opportunity as he's ever had at the Chili Bowl.
Sometime you got to tell me how you get $105,000 to play with, and we all get $100.
Knows the right guy.
Listen, I help Clint a lot with modified stuff for dirt trap, so you know I get a little bit of help for that.
So let's take a look at some more racing coming up here on Flow. The Schaefer's Spring Nationals presented by Coleman Farms. Coming up, you're going to get the Spring Nationals from Swainsboro Raceway on February 28th and turn right around the next day to Sonoy Raceway, March 1st. That is coming up. March 28th, the group is at Buckshot Speedway, then East Alabama Motor Speedway on the 29th, part of a doubleheader weekend. And into April already, they're going to be going to I-75 Raceway on April 18th. If you are a fan of the Spring Nationals, you got to tune in because we will have it all here on Flow. A quick timeout is coming. Opening ceremonies to follow. You're watching the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink here on Flow Racing. opening ceremonies just about ready to push off and get fired here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. Let's kick things to the house.
Qualifying night number 1. Special thanks to the fine folks of Hasty Bake, proud sponsor of tonight's qualifying night. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you standing. Gentlemen, remove your caps. And representative of American Racing Ministries, Mr. Tim Spillman, with tonight's invocation.
Can we all pray, please? Father God, once again we pause and we thank you for all your blessings and all of your love that you give to each and every one of us. We thank you, Lord, for the military that's standing around this world to keep each and every one of us safe so we can assemble the way we are this evening. We thank you for Emmett Hahn and all of his family and all of his staff. Any venue that they put on, may it be a great success. Thank you for all the sponsors that come along to help make all this possible. And now, Father, we ask you to bless and keep safe all of our drivers, crews, officials, and all of these great fans. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Tim. And with that, folks, please remain standing for the singing of tonight's national anthem out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Mr. Billy Moore.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Billy Moore, give him a big round of applause. Hey, buddy.
Things you may not have known, Billy trained at the Anderson Hoon Academy for Manly Singers.
He was good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I like it.
Very good. Better than Blake Earl could ever do.
No, they trained him.
Well, that's
Yeah.
as long as they're training and not singing, that's fine.
Just training, no
Yeah,
singing.
that's fine. Blake had his opportunity at the Dome and he choked.
Yeah.
He was supposed to sing on Friday night for all the fans
Thank
to join
you,
him, and he
P. Kitty.
Yeah, Kitty bailed you out
Kitty
big time.
bailed me out big time.
Well, Clinton Boyles has given us an actual window to look through down here. Thank you, Clinton.
What doesn't he do?
I
don't.
he does a little bit of everything. It's
I've
fantastic.
not figured it out yet.
Earl, who you watching tonight?
I got to tell you what, it's first driver is going to be Kyle Spence, right? Because I got a feeling later tonight this track is going to get high, wide, and handsome. There's going to be a big old curb out there, and on the fence, Kyle Spence is going to be a good driver to watch, and also another veteran. He has made 7 straight prelim nights out of his 15 so far. That's going to be big, sexy Chris Windham. Those are going to be my 2 drivers to watch here tonight.
All right. I'm keeping an eye on a guy that has a great opportunity with Chase Briscoe Racing. He won at DeCoin in December. Carter Sarf in the 5 is one of my guys to watch. I think Carter will be good. Another one, a great opportunity for this young driver from Galloway, Ohio, Jacob Denny in the Keith Kunz Motorsports 67W. he's going to be one to watch. This is a kid that the last couple years we've kind of seen him come along. And I think tonight he firmly places himself on the national scene.
Yeah, guys, another thing I want to point out to you, and you can probably see it behind us on the camera above the grandstands here, that you know, Blake Anderson, that it's getting closer to drilling Saturday,
man.
right? The pits are starting to get very full of race fans. People already starting to set up lawn chairs here by the Keith Coons camp, and it's starting to get a little harder for us to negotiate foot traffic to try to get to the interviews and the cars we need to. But that just means one thing, is that we are getting very close to Championship Saturday.
It's crazy where this event has come in the last decade. I mean, I look back to 10 years ago, sitting in the grandstands right in front of us behind our cameraman, Kevin, and Thursday night, I could kick back and lean back. You had a couple of rows.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Tonight, the grandstands are full. The pits are packed. It's incredible. The growth of this event in the last decade is wild.
It's truly tremendous.
Get your shoulder pads on.
Oh, yeah. Don't you worry. I am ready to go.
He's been waiting for this moment, Chris.
I have been. But, yeah, Blake Anderson, myself, we're going to be up here all night long, giving you great interviews and live coverage and maybe some other stories about tire doping that we just been tipped off once again. And a pit walk.
I don't see Neil
coming up.
We'll talk to Neil Kalman at some point tonight from Hoosier Tire, as you mentioned, the tire doping stuff that's been happening. So we'll try to get a word with him as well.
So, guys, we're going to have you covered at the top of the ramp come this evening.
Appreciate it, Blake and Earl, as heat races, 9 groups, 79 cars about to roll their way onto the track. You can see them moving as we speak. Clinton has cleaned the windows expertly here, so
They're like brand new.
it is
Spotless.
beautiful.
Except for that one.
Well, you know, 99.9%. We'll take it. Nice work, Clinton. Thank you, sir. Yeoman's duty.
So least I can do. Could have been better, but
I also have a bone to pick with you.
oh, no.
Dirt Draft is now investigating how I have $105,000.
well, good, as they should. I can't have you beating me.
I already am.
Should we give credit for
because
the?
you got $105,000 every night. That's why.
If I have $105,000, I'm really bad.
Should we give credit on the assist on the windows to Mitchell Moles?
Yeah,
I saw him-
Mitchie was down there helping me.
He
I
did
saw
make
that.
one spray. He did make one spray.
We're going to have multiple guests in the booth coming up here for heat races.
So many drivers today.
Mitchell Moles, welcome in.
Morning.
Morning.
You get
Bud, but it's 5 o'clock.
I just woke up.
It's 5 o'clock. The guys in the stands are drinking. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I
Hey.
guess. You'll have that out here.
We'll hang out with you on the broadcast for a little while, get some expertise from you. Apparently, Santino Ferrucci's on his way as well, so we'll see Santino at some point in time. It'll be a adventure here in the broadcast booth. We got the drivers only segment coming up later, but we're just going to keep throwing driver after driver after you. What do you think, Chris Moore?
I joked with Tyler McKim. I said, you must hate having me in the booth because I got the drivers only segment and I'm going to get kicked out for Santino.
That's terrible.
It's okay. It's all right.
I wouldn't kick you out for Santino. I appreciate what you do for FloRacing and us.
Not much. Very little.
First heat race rolls down onto the speedway as we speak. 100 points to win this from the pole, plus 5 points for every position back that you get it. So you win from second, 105. You win from third, 110, etc. through the field. As it's Andrew Deal and Joe Perry making up row number 1. Bradley Fazard and Trey Zorner in row number 2. Drake Edwards, Carter Jensrud in row 3. Chance Hall and Jeffrey Newell, row number 4. Brody Fusen in row number 5. All by himself. 9 cars going 8 laps. Top 40 in points. We'll lock into 4 qualifiers. Everybody else, we're going into D mains tonight, guys. D features are due up later on in the program. First D's of the week are coming.
Well, we have Mitchell in here. Mitchell, how do we feel about how we did last night?
Yeah, I felt like we did a pretty good job. Just the feature there just got too tight. I didn't think it was going to go that direction and kind of just took a wrong swing at it. So we're just tight and struggled there a little bit late in the feature when the curb got big. So if you can't run the curb, you're probably not going to be very fast around this place than how it's looked this week. So just I've settled for a B main spot and try and get our stuff a little better. And that way we have a shot at it on Saturday.
Yeah, at what point do you kind of come to that realization in the race where I need to I need to back it down here a little bit and save what I got.
Yeah, probably when I biked and hit the fence and all that. But yeah, probably time to tone her down a notch.
Yeah. I talked to Timmy Buckwalter really quick after the race, and he said I felt good up top, and then the bigger the curve got, the more mistakes I made. Timmy said I'm going back where I belong, right around the berm.
I wish he'd have stayed down there longer.
You're not going to find many guys that get around the bottom better than Timmy Buckwalter for sure.
No, sir.
So, guys, heading into Thursday night typically takes 74.3 points to make your way into a qualifier. Inversion for the qualifier, which is the top 24 in points, usually takes 93.2. That is your average over the, I'm going to say about 10 last years or so. Thank you, Wikipedia, for the stats. 2024, it took 75 points to make the qualifier and 91.5 to make the invert for it. So that's generally your range you're looking for to get there. You're going to want to be somewhere in the top 4 of your heat race or make a big old run up from the back of it to do so.
Those numbers are, for the guys that look at them, can really be valuable to, especially if you take a look at the chart and know you get a pretty good idea of what you need to do.
Heat race 1, Andrew Deal, Joe Perry starting us off. Excellent start for Andrew Deal, and the green light stays on.
Or not.
At least through turn 1. Turn 2 makes me look like a liar as we come out, and I'll have to do it all over again.
I think Andrew Deal's start might have been a little bit too good there.
Drake Edwards did not want to see that one come back.
Yeah.
And now,
I think he started, where did he start, 6th?
Fifth. Inside row 3.
Yeah, he was almost a second there on that start, so he did not want to see that one get called back.
Well,
Bradley Fizzard will join up in the front row now with Joe Perry.
highest number in the field, looking to get an easy 110 points. If he can hang on here, we will see.
Perry hiccups for a second, although Deal's going to drive right back to his inside. It's Fizzard and Deal here on lap number 1, and Deal down low with a run at the lead, coming to the front of the racetrack. Give it to Fizzard the first time by.
Don't worry, Mitchell. Drake Edwards still making his way forward up to the 3rd spot. As you see your lead duo here, Perry and Deal. Deal trying to get back to the top spot and salvage things, but here comes Drake Edwards trying to creep into the picture now.
That green car that keeps popping in your screen is Brody Fusion, up 9th to 5th already, looking for 4th right there underneath Perry. He's got it, making his way downtown.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive for how wet it is.
Back up to the front we go. Fizzard pushing wide off the corner. Deal trying to scramble to get back to 1st. Drake Edwards looking good in 3rd. Lots of time left in this one as ticker might be just a hair off in the laps to go. We're 5 in, 3 left.
Yeah.
They get 4 in, 4 left.
No, you're right. I think, yeah, according to the scoreboard, you're right.
So
Drake Edwards is trying here.
Edwards with the lane around the high side. Deal blocks him off coming out at 2, and they're rolling to the white flag.
And Brody Fusion has really tried to make his way up into the picture here. Might run out of time, and Fizzard looking for 110 points here. Edwards going to sneak by Deal.
There's contact there in turn 2. Oh, Brody can't capitalize on Andrew Deal's mistake, and there's your checkered flag.
So 110 for Fizzard. Deal backing it up 2-1 is still worth 93.
Deal ended up 3rd. Edwards got him there on the final lap.
That ends up being 80th, first to
86 would be for Deal.
Drake Edwards' car looked very maneuverable there. I feel like that was definitely his crew chief, whoever was working on that thing, had an idea what he needed there because he could go anywhere.
And 9th to 3rd is worth 118, 116.
Some good point runs there. Edwards 5-2. Fizzard gets the 3-1, and Fusion goes 9-4. So some good runs there to open us up here.
NOS energy drink ramp cam shows you coming on down as let's just bring more. It'll be driver night here in the booth over and over again.
Coming at you all night long.
All night. Santino Ferrucci putting on the headphones. Hello, Santino.
Yeah, there we go.
Got
oh man, I thought I had to do that. Okay,
I got you.
Just like the race car, green means go.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been a minute since I've been down here, so good to see y'all. Thanks for having me.
Welcome in.
Santino just came and hung out with us in my house out there in Merced. He didn't want to race. He just wanted to hang out. So.
I did. I flew across the country just to go watch the track.
Love it.
Not drive.
Well, up top, Blake Anderson, K1 Race Gear interview with our Heat Race 1 winner.
Third to first for Bradley Fazzard. Last year, guys, he won the C-Main on his prelim night. Tonight, I think he's pretty safely in a qualifier. Bradley, track narrow a little bit because it's so fast. How the heck did you go 3-1?
Oh, man, you know, I got to thank Andrew Deal for making a mistake there on the start and handing that one to me. We weren't sure if we were going to make Chili Bowl this year. We didn't have an engine, you know, until just a couple days before move-in. So we got a little bit of tweaking to do on it. It doesn't want to take off too good right now, but, you know, I got to thank the good Lord above for getting me here. B&H Fresh, my mom and dad. You know, this is a dream to get to run this race, so I'm glad we could pull off the win there. I'm looking forward to the rest of the night.
He was 9th in ASCS Golf South points last year, guys. Tonight, we'll see him in a qualifier later on this evening.
Thank you, Blake. Heat Race 2 is making its way down and onto the racetrack. Our BR Motorsports Ignitioneering picture down the front straightaway. Gage Laney, Jeff Stassa, row number 1. John Clabundi and Brad Wyatt in row number 2. Joe Boyles, Tony Helton in row 3, Scott Kruder and Mariah Eder in row 4, Tim Kent by himself starting at 9th. 100 points again to win, plus 5 for every position on back. Clinton, are we instituting the dads on the track got to be up on our feet rule too?
No, it's not that big a deal. We're all right.
All right. We've got our traditions in here, so must follow tradition. It's very important. As Gage Laney, you see you rolling out and around, he's going to have the hard duty of keeping this field often behind him with a lot of veterans in there, but a lot of guys looking to make their name and score some points here in a winnable Heat Race 2. Laney and Stassa from the front row. They'll idle around and get into position.
I got a favorite here. I think the 98 of Joe Boyles is gonna go here.
You think?
I think so.
We've seen him win Heat Races in this building, what, 5 years ago or so, Clinton?
Man, I think it was like 3 years ago. Him and Thorson had the great race 3 or 4 years ago in the Heat Race where Tanner passed him on the last lap. But tough task here. Really fast racetrack, not a ton of laps, not the biggest engine.
You're saying if it was a little slicker and a little wider and slowed down just a little bit, we would have a better Joe Boyles situation.
Joe B would love to be Heat 9 if it can be as slick as possible for him. So we'll see. You never know. He's feeling spicy.
I'm still rooting for him.
Yeah, you have to, right? It's a feel-good story. That's got to be the oldest car engine combo. I know Corey Day wants to say his is 50 years old, but this one actually is 50 years old.
9 cars, 8 laps, Heat Race 2. Off the corner, Laney and Stassa bring us to green. Clabundi gets a little sideways to the inside of the second row. Bumper tack through the corner, give the early lead to Stassa in the 91. Shooting through, Clabundi trying to pick up a spot again. As the race for second between Laney and Brad Wyatt is on. Wyatt sitting in the third spot, trying to keep everybody behind him. Clabundi a little tighter on the top, and here comes Mariah Ede. Ede started 8th. She's worked her way up into 5th, almost 4th, as she sticks a nose underneath Clabundi.
Oh, no.
Look out, Wyatt around.
Oh, no.
Ede goes bouncing off. Everybody stays straight. We're still green.
Arcas.
Help the 81G trying to get in and through. Ede holds the spot as you've got Kent in the 07 challenging now. Kruder in the 00K trying to work underneath the 81 of Helton for 6th. There's Kent and Boyles at the back of the field. Boyles has a lane down underneath Kent. Can he stick her through? Is there 3 wide for just the blink of an eye in the corner? Wheel stand from Kent as he drives away from Kruder. Help the 81 car is 6th as this is all happening back in the field for positions that don't yield a lot of points. The guy having the easy cruise of it out front is Jeff Stassa in the 91. Oh! Crew chief?
Oh, no. I didn't even see what happened, but I see the rear axles snapped out of the thing.
Hopefully it's just a wheel center, but I doubt it.
So left rear, all kinds of off. And Brian Ward, you get to be the first to deliver the bad news to Clinton Boyles.
Yeah, it's anodized red and it's snapped in half.
Oh, no.
That's not good.
Yeah. That thing's seen a lot of races in its day.
So you got your value out of it.
Clinton, have you ever drove that?
Yeah, I drove that here a couple times. I made a couple prelim features in that car.
Nice.
I think 2017 was the last time I raced it here.
I'm going to go ahead and say that was probably your fault then.
Yeah.
Something you did. It definitely wasn't Joe's fault.
I'm sure I hit somebody or turned left on somebody because I was looking left and ran him over or something.
Dason, is that you?
Yeah.
That's too far.
Santino probably has no idea what we're talking about.
No, I'm so lost right now.
You should watch the shootout and then you would know.
You should just run the shootout.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I had to take the winter off, first year being married and all, so.
Oh.
First year back.
Dreaded wife aggro. I get it.
Oh. It was, I mean, Christmas didn't fall in the middle of the week, too, and everything got pushed. It'd have been a different story. I talked to Cannon about it, potentially running one of his cars, so just to get the laps and the experience. Also, running the wing micro around here is a blast.
1 to go. Stassa under fire from Laney down late. He's gonna hang on at the line.
Right, got it right at the line.
So Stassa gets 105. Eid to third from 8th. This is gonna be a nice point scoring run for her. Give her 111 points in that one.
Oh, man.
As we are through to 7 to go. Busy on the NOS Energy Drink ramp cam. It's our third heat race coming at you in just a second.
You get a look here at the NOS Energy Drink ramp cam. As our guys up top will get set for a K1 race gear interview. But heat number three, rolling out onto the racetrack now, down the ramp and onto the Expo Raceway. Thursday night here at the Chili Bowl Nationals.
This is the warmest night I've ever seen.
It's unbelievable. Tomorrow's going to be even more.
Yeah, the 6 years I've been here, I've never been here in a T-shirt. So
it's toasty in here right now, for sure. Yeah. We got a lot of people in here.
I mean, when they blow the heat in here, then it gets real warm. Yeah. But no, it's nice. I mean, how does this affect the dirt any differently than when it's
like the temperature inside here?
Yeah.
We'll get to that after we talk to Earl Hoon Jr. up top.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Things are starting to get a little hectic up here by the scales. And Jeff, a 2-1, it's going to give you some positive points. And how close are you going to keep an eye on the other heat races here to see how the other drivers do? And hopefully you can make it into a qualifier.
Yeah, we'll just watch the track here. We're a little tight right now, so we'll have to loosen up. But pretty good run, 2-1 there. Should put us in the qualifier.
Guys, Jeff Stassa was able to make a couple 360 and midget starts in the 2024 season. And good heat race win for him right there.
All right, thank you, Earl. Clint, if you want to hit on that real quick, the temperature in the Expo.
I think the temperature inside here is so consistent enough, it doesn't make a huge difference. The really thing I think that would make a difference is the humidity outside. With our ventilation we have in here, if we have really dry air inside here or really humid air, pumping through here, that would make a difference on, whether the racetrack's holding a little bit of moisture or, going to slick off a little quicker. But
it's good to know.
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, I think it's pretty controlled in here, and not having the earth to deal with and to be sucking up moisture out of the ground.
Sun baking it, wind, all that nonsense we got to deal with outside.
I think that's the biggest factors.
Yeah, I think that green tractor out there controls most of it.
Listen, I was just asking for a friend,
Yeah, you knew the answer.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Just
of
people at
course,
home.
exactly.
Somebody at home, they don't know. You just got a green tractor.
That's what we're here for.
The green tractor.
Heat race number 3 out on the speedway. Jay Mallory, the 20G, and Shane Cottle, the throttle, the 7M, make up row number 1. AJ Johnson in the 22S, and Rodney Westhafer in the 24S in row number 2. 5th starting spot, he'll roll with high limit in 2025. Cy Lynch in the number 17 car. Alongside of him, Ryder LaPlante in the 10H. Cody Beard in the 17E, and Cade Morton in the 8M will roll off 8th in the final starting spot. And Alex Bowman Racing entry and great point opportunity, the 55V for C.J. Leary. Mallory and Shane Cottle will bring us to green. Good start here. And we will roll off.
No, we're not rolling anywhere. We're going yellow.
Nope. That's A.J. Johnson and Cody Beard around.
This is where it gets scary. If you're C.J. Leary on the start like that, narrow racetrack, you really want to get going, but it's you just got to be kind of cautious here. And
I think it popped his right front.
Yeah, he's got a right front down. Here's a look at the iBox Springs instant replay. Oh, a little bit of contact there from Cy Lynch.
Kind of got pushed
pushed Johnson up the racetrack.
Cottle, watch Cottle front row outside here, comes down and clips the right front and turns him around.
I think he got a push from behind almost into that guy's left rear, and that's kind of a bad deal.
Yeah, and then I think the contact from Beard is what put the right front down. So we will see if A.J. Johnson's guys are ready in the work area. They do get the 60 seconds.
Yeah, no beadlock on that thing, so it should be a little easier to get your gun in there, and it's five nuts.
Get the impact out.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully the boys at the ramp are ready.
Yeah. We got one in the work area. Earl's over there. Earl, take us away if you see anything at all.
All 4 tires are up on Beard's 17E. I don't see no fluid leaking out from the bottom. Crew members now coming in.
Yeah.
Big old thumbs up, so he should be able to rejoin the field.
Yeah, I believe he just going in to check his race car, which, as you talked about, Clinton, if you get the time, you might as well go in and make sure. You're already going to be at the tail of the field as it is.
Yeah, make sure your Nerf is not rubbing. And
A.J. Johnson is out of his car.
He's frustrated.
I don't know if maybe he's got a steering issue.
I can tell you that Johnson's crew is down here waiting for him in the work area.
Well, I mean, he's still got his helmet on, but he has climbed out of the car and is in the passenger seat of the side.
I don't know why he got out.
Got to stay in the car if you want a shot at it.
Yeah, I
really, in general, just stay in the car. It just prolongs it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want a shot to work on the thing, they're not going to give you much time as it is, so you got to be absolutely ready to go.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris Moore.
Hi, Blake.
I just want to do a welfare check on you because Jay Mallory, 358 mod guy at
goodness.
Merrittville.
Shut up.
So just doing a welfare check.
Just sit up there and be quiet.
He's one of your mod guys.
Yeah. I
don't
think I've ever seen him race before. So
Merrittville guy.
I can't tell if he's sweating or crying, but there's something going on in here.
No, they've outside of Timmy B and Billy V, the two that I was really excited about kind of let me down. So.
Guys, just wanted to give you an update on A.J. Johnson. The crew said we can make the changes, but official says nope. He got out of the car. You got to go to the top of the ramp.
There you go.
Should have stayed in the car.
Yeah, I don't know.
Up the
Very
ramp,
confused as to that.
Cottle didn't have the best start here from the front row outside. Let's see if he can time this up a little bit better. That's a measured move by him, and
much better.
Going to bring Cy Lynch with him. Cy's rookie here, and rookie year here at the Chili Bowl. Hard on the gas, sawing at the wheel.
Yeah, Cy Lynch right after it out into the runner-up spot. Here goes Rodney Westhafer to the outside of Jay Mallory. They're three wide right behind him as you see the 55V of C.J. Leary. Morton, couple of wheel stands there off of turn number 2. Leary's going to pick off 2 more. Should put Leary into the 5 spot. A quick 9-5 for Leary and plenty of time to get more as he'll work to the outside of Mallory here. Mallory loses another one back to 5th. C.J. Leary is on the gas. Now Westhafer opens the door for him. Leary trying to poke a nose under him here for the 3rd spot. Westhafer will hold him off. Now drop back to the bottom in 3 and 4. Leary working up through the middle as we start to get a little bit of a wider racetrack right now. Leary continuing to try and search. Westhafer doing just enough to keep C.J. Leary at bay. Shane Cottle is checked out, and Cy Lynch is hoping that Westhafer can keep holding off C.J. Leary, and Lynch won't have to deal with him. Cy Lynch would love a 5-2. Here goes Leary with a launch off of 2 to the inside of Westhafer. And Westhafer drifts up, and Leary will take the 3rd spot, but now just 2 laps to go. Right behind him, Ryder LaPlante up into the 5th spot. Now he and Cade Morton going at it. As you see Shane Cottle take the white flag. Finished 3rd, did Shane Cottle here at the Chili Bowl. He will work off of turn number 4 with a 2-1, 105-point effort. Cy Lynch goes 5-2, and C.J. Leary goes 9-3.
Man, those Bowman cars are fast. They're very maneuverable, and they got a ton of grip, and they look really stable. It looks like a fun blast to drive, to be honest with you.
They've been getting better all week long as each driver goes. A collective effort between everyone, and after KTJ and Jake Swanson go, CJ's got his stuff absolutely dialed in.
Yeah, they bring a stout group, and really good race car drivers to get feedback on.
116 points for C.J. Leary with the 9-3. 108 points for Cy Lynch going 5-2, and 105 for Shane Cottle going 105. So heat race number 1, we had 3 guys with 100 points. And heat race number 3. We
Mitchell,
got another 3 guys.
Do you think this is the most moisture we've seen on the inside of the racetrack so far? Seems like the bottom's kind of blown off fairly quickly throughout the week, but tonight there's just a ton of moisture down there.
Yeah, I feel like doing that curb in the middle thing, and that's definitely different from what we've seen in days past and how fast they're getting down to straightaways. I feel like almost in practice day I was pretty early and the straightaways were already slick. So I do see a little moisture holding, and I think as we're like we talk about, we're working on our race cars and building on that. But these guys are building on it, and they're trying to get the racetrack better for themselves and to not do so much work on it throughout the night.
All right, let's go up top. A K1 Race Gear interview with Blake Anderson.
2 prelim wins here, 07 and 11. Shane Cottle, Chili Bowl veteran, 10 times in the big dance, including second in 2000. But Shane, is this racetrack pretty unique? It certainly seems like the heaviest track we've seen this week.
Yeah, definitely heavy. They got some. They definitely put some water in it, but starting to slick off a little bit up towards the cushion, but still found some grip out there.
You like that high side?
Oh yeah, I love that high side. Yeah.
We love watching Shane Cottle on the high side, guys. Second in 2000, trying to get back in the big dance for the first time in nearly a decade.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Balake. As we get set for heat race number 4, the BR Motorsports Ignitioneering Speed Cam outside of turn number 4. Braxton Cummings, the 17L and the 57R. Shelby Bosey make up row number 1. 55F Johnny Kent and the 8R Riker Pace in row number 2. Carter Sarf, one of the ones to watch tonight. He in the 5 car will roll off from the 5th spot in the 14D of David Gasper alongside Brandon Boggs in the 13 and the 11C of Mike Woodruff make up row number 4. And the 51X of Joe Walker will roll off from that 9th and final starting spot.
Man, I want to say Carter Stark has some confidence. He beat Bell the other night over there at DeCoin, and he's really developing as a race car driver. And I would say he's probably my favorite out of this heat race here to win.
That Chase Briscoe 5 has been really good the last few years down here with Chase behind the wheel, and Carter's had a huge year in the open wheel ranks, whether it be sprint cars with Chase Briscoe, his own midget. He was really fast seemingly in anything he sat in, and rolling off in a really good spot here to pick up some good points and head into a qualifier.
Yeah, he's got a great opportunity. 5-1 is 120 points. That would put him at the top of the charts thus far, as we would be just shy of halfway through our heat race action at the end of this one.
Santino, is there anything you're watching, trying to learn down here, just figure out, or
are you kidding me?
Take it all in.
Hey, I'm enjoying my time in the booth. Honestly, the track right now, when it's not super wide like this, it races a lot like Milwaukee.
Okay.
For the IndyCar, of all things, because our cars aren't too wide, and it's a very similar type shape, just a bit bigger. And this is fun in IndyCar, and I mean it's technical, and it's technical in the midget when the track's like this too. So nice. Watching y'all set up passes and learning is huge.
I believe 1 not answering the call. We went to green with 8. See if we can pinpoint who that is. Oh, a little bit of contact there for 3rd. Carter Sarf says thank you very much. He'll take a free couple of spots and now try to work on the 17L of Braxton Cummings. And Sarf will make quick work of him as well. He'll slide up into the runner-up spot. Now Johnny Kent trying to come after Cummings here for that 3rd spot. As you see him work here through 1 and 2. 14D David Gasper, who started back in 6th, trying to creep into the picture. This a 3-car battle for the 3rd spot right now. Cummings working right up against that mini curb through the middle of the racetrack as you see Sarf closing in on Riker Pace here for the top spot. Oh, Cummings sideways in the middle of 3 and 4.
Oh, we went yellow for it.
Yeah, maybe a little early on the gun there for the yellow. Everybody throttled out of it, but that'll reset the pack.
I think the track's going to start getting more challenging. More than I thought, with this curb kind of developing more in the center of the racetrack. It's going to be hard to pass here because it's hard to throw a slider on a guy when it's that narrow and that fast. So I think some of these guys having, I think Carter's 5-2 right now. I think that's going to be really good.
Everyone's still really on the verge of being too tight, also just trying to make as much grip as they can to shoot by a guy right now, and that little bit of a curb can definitely trip you up.
Something of note here, Shelby Bosey, the outside pole setter, was the car that didn't answer the call, so Riker Pace will get credit for 2-1 right now. Everybody in the outside row sliding up as you get a look here at the Braxton Cummings machine just a little bit sideways in the middle of 3 and 4 there.
Chris Moore, Shelby Bosey was a late addition today, a TBA that we got filled in at the draw, so maybe he had some more problems than what they thought.
Yeah, potentially. Thank you, Blake. So that slid the outside row up. So Pace started outside pole, Gasper started 4th, Woodruff 6th, and then Joe Walker moves up to 8th. And Walker has actually driven himself into 5th now with Cummings falling out. So Joe Walker maybe an opportunity here for a couple of more spots as we'll keep an eye up front here. Riker Pace started 2nd. Important for him to try and keep the lead. But Carter Sarf coming after him up on the berm down on the bottom. Pace trying to shut the door. Sarf will dive bomb into the corner, slide up. Pace trying to cross him over. Sarf, though, will have the spot at the line here with 2 laps to go. And now Carter Sarf going to put the paces to that number 5 machine to try and run away. Now you got these 3 cars battling here for 3rd. Kent, Gasper, and Walker. Here goes Gasper to the inside on Johnny Kent. Kent, though, right up against that curb through the middle of the racetrack will hold him off. 5-1 and a new high point man so far. Carter Sarf gets the win. Riker Pace, Johnny Kent, David Gasper, and Joe Walker, the top 5.
That was a veteran move there when he was rolling the bottom there, putting the pressure on there, and ultimately made a mistake made Riker Pace make a mistake and capitalized on it.
Some solid driving, solid wheeling.
Yeah.
So Carter Sarf, 120 points for 5-1. And that will put him at the top of the charts. One of the better runs we've seen this week. I think Dason went 6-1 last night, but by and large, Carter Sarf cementing himself at or near the top of the point chart at the end of heat races here on Thursday night. Scan that QR code in the bottom left of your screen. Vote for the best appearing car. We've got our nominees ready. Handful of finally selected staff nominating the top 10 best appearing cars, and then you folks at home get an opportunity to vote for your favorites. I believe Corey Day was the winner on Wednesday night.
It's kind of like a fan vote, maybe. Best favorite driver. There's some good-looking cars out there.
There are.
Can tell you that the nominating committee has been trying their best not to just go, oh, your name recognition. They've actually been looking and going, that's a good-looking, well-put-together car. So, when possible. We're working towards heat race number 5. It is Hasty Bake qualifying night here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. And Earl Hoon ready up top for the K1 Race Gear interview. Earl.
Dude, what a performance, Carter Sarf. 5-1. It should give you 120 points, I do believe, and that's going to set you up real nice come a qualifier.
Yeah, that feels really good to get that over with. My heart's been racing all day, just thinking about the heat race and making sure we get through it. And yeah, that's just an awesome start to the week. Just picked a bunch of weight up off my shoulders, so hopefully go forward in the qualifier and set us up good for the feature.
Carter Sarf, guys, was very, very fast in that heat race, as you can see, for still what could be a narrow track surface coming up a little bit later.
Thanks, dude. That was a good interview up there. We're going to head on to heat race number 5 here.
Heat race number 5. We've got some IndyCar flavor coming up here in this, as it is Justin Dickerson and Dalton Camfield, row number 1. Catherine Legge and Dan Bennett in row number 2. Brady Bacon, Parker Jones in row 3. Kyle Bielman and Henry Chambers in row 4. Matt Westfall all by himself starting 9th. We've got Mitchell Moles, Clinton Boyles, and Santino Ferrucci in the booth. I'm Caleb Hart. Santino, you probably know as much about drivers starting inside row 2 as anybody here in the building.
Yeah, she is my teammate here at the Chili Bowl, and I've raced against Catherine numerous times out on the IndyCar track, mostly at the 500, but she did pick up some extra races this year and ran at Iowa, so she's definitely a fierce competitor out there on the short ovals, man. But it's her first dirt start. She did get some laps in yesterday. I know she's feeling good. I know these cars, these Abacus racing cars, are very good. I mean, this is the most comfortable I've ever been in a midget here from practice on Sunday. So I'm hoping that she feels the same way here and see what she can do.
Is there anything you've been able to tell her from your time in the dirt car that she can kind of correlate or just use the same words that you can use in the Indy car so she kind of understands what she's stepping into?
Yeah. If you're thinking of doing it, do the opposite.
Yeah.
Literally, these are the complete inverse of what we do. So I said if it feels wrong, it's probably right. And if it's feeling right, you're probably wrong. So hopefully
that's got to be a very comfortable feeling, I'm sure.
Hopefully Kaylee's giving her a lot more support than I can. I still don't know what I'm doing half the time, if not more.
Well, she'll want that start back. Green is out. Dickerson trying to hold on to the early advantage. It's Camfield on the high side, taking her away from him. And following him up and around and picking some spots up early. I want to say that's Parker Jones in the 41B. It is. He's running second in the early going. Camfield, Jones, Dickerson. Brady Bacon has picked up third. Bacon sneaking to the inside on Jones, looking for the spot. Shows him a tire, driving underneath. Way up racetrack goes Camfield. And Brady Bacon, just like that, 5-2-1. It's going to be a good scoring run for him if nothing goes wrong here forward.
Westfall trying to sneak in and threw up into the third position. Also, he has it. Big mistake from Camfield down the front stretch.
I think Camfield's car might be broken or something. He's getting over the curb pretty bad.
Everyone kind of getting single fouled out. That's Westfall looking to make a move on Jones for your second position.
At Westfall, USAC winner in the late stages of the year. Going wheel to wheel with the 41 of Jones. Jones driving around on the outside, holds on to her for now. Back downstairs goes Westfall, who's probably made 1,000 laps at the Expo just like he's doing right now. Hitting his marks down around the low side of the speedway. The checkered flag's in the air. Brady Bacon is going to take this with ease. Here's for second and at the line. Margin of victory for Parker Jones is a couple hundredths of a second.
0.27, something like that.
0.23.
Wow.
So Bacon with 120 points for him. Westfall on a 9-3 run worth a bunch as you're going to get a look at the IBOC replay. 9-3 worth 116 for Matt. And Jones went 6-2 there, guys. That's worth 113. So nice run, Parker Jones.
Man, that was close.
Yeah, so close there. And that's the difference in having your transponder on the front side of your tubing or the back side of your tubing.
Yeah. Can you do that? Can you do that? Is that? I thought they all had to go on the back here.
Well, they give it to you in the tape and they let you put it on, so it's up to you, I guess.
Oh man.
I sure as heck wouldn't want to have it on the back, but
listen, I'm learning as I go.
Clinton, remember this moment if you two end up in like a main event against each other and it comes down to a wire.
Santino's learning right now. He's gonna go home do that.
Go-karts, we used to put them in our pockets, and if it was close when we were running draft tracks like Newcastle, we'd throw it across the line.
That's wild.
Whatever it takes, right?
I mean, you don't. That's not pretty obvious. Like you can't.
Listen, we were part of the rule changes where they were mandated on the back of the seat shortly thereafter.
Yeah. You're the reason they're not so gray anymore, right?
That would be correct. Listen,
I appreciate the effort. I like that.
Yeah. Do anything to win. So
whatever it takes.
If you're not bending the rules and they're not making changes, are you really trying hard enough?
Yeah.
I mean, my boss has probably had a few rules made after him, so.
Yeah. Did I see your boss is turning like 90 years old today?
AJ Foyt, 90 years old today.
Happy birthday, AJ Foyt.
Oh my.
Is he watching?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Nice.
Maybe.
So.
Well, let's check in up top. We'll see if we can find out confirmation of that. That'd be cool.
I'll text Ann.
All right, we need to check in up top with the K1 Race Gear interview.
Well, the 4-time USAC champion and a 5-time A-Main starter on Saturday, Brady Bacon. Brady, do you feel like 120 points, is that kind of a relief to know after the heat race you survived with the way the track's kind of been looking a little bit heavy?
Yeah, it's pretty narrow, but it is starting to slick up quite a bit right underneath the cushion. So there should be some guys start passing here in these later heats, but we were fortunate to kind of get a heat that we could get through unscathed pretty easily. But qualifiers where it ramps up a little bit. We got a little bit of work to do on our car to be where we need to be to win tonight, but we're getting a lot closer.
6 wins this year for Brady Bacon in a non-wing sprint car. He's looking for a 16th prelim A-Main later tonight.
All right, Blake Anderson, thank you.
I love interviews like that where the guys are just brutally honest and they say they got a little work to do and they're not too cocky and they just keep pushing forward. I like that.
As many laps as Brady has around here, he definitely knows when he's right versus when he feels like he needs to gain on this field. So path definitely opened up for him, and that's part of the Chili Bowl luck you got to have sometimes in order to have one of those monster nights. Let's see who's going to pocket 100-plus points in this one as we've got Trevor Service versus Kyle Spence on the front row, Frank Flood and Danny Burke in row number 2. Chad Freewall takes on the former champ Tanner Thorson in row 3. Michael Hubert and Cole Garner are in row 4 with Robert Carson starting 9th on the field. 8 more laps around. Again, 100 points to win plus 5 per position back to take that top spot away from them as the engines fire here in the heat race.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to bet against Tanner Thorson here. He's pretty stout, and I would say he's going to be able to push up there pretty easily.
I think this one's going to be interesting how it shakes out. Tanner's obviously got a great race car. He is really good around here, but both Frank Flood and Kyle Spence have experienced success within this building. Flood has never had the midget success that you would expect him to after having such an incredible micro career, but Kyle Spence has had a little bit of looks really good in the midget, and that's a really good ride underneath him. Either one of those guys, if they get out in front of Tanner and get to a point where they can really mount a defense on him and coming through, I think it could be fascinating.
Especially Spence off the front right here. The track's pretty self-explanatory right now. I think you just go rip the top as fast as you can go, and you know, going to be tough for Tanner to make any sort of move on there. 3 and 4 is a little bit wider than 1 and 2, but I still don't know that it's good enough to just make a move. And a driver like Kyle Spence is able to, he'll see that, he'll counter if he needs to get to the bottom of 3 and 4 or whatever.
One thing I've noticed about Tanner is he runs a slider line very often here, and it's not something you see a lot of guys do with full speed and full power, and it really works for him and his car setup, and I think that's going to be a huge advantage on this racetrack.
Well, that is your inside row 1 driver, Trevor Service, and that could certainly change the equation, guys. And I say that because if Service doesn't fire, that gives Flood the pole, and now it's Flood and Spence together off that front row without somebody maybe holding that inside lineup. So let's see. Service is definitely not going to make the call.
Mitchell, I got a question for you. You race midgets most of the year. You're around midgets most of the year. Why are guys taking the dang visors off all the time?
I don't know. It's hideous. Oh, man, it's so bad. You look at him, and I'm like, man, if I owned that race car, I would just say deal with it or lower your seat or do something.
Be shorter or something.
I'm too short.
I'm the tallest guy in the pits.
I have a problem getting
down.
Yeah, they got to cut the bottom so I can
Did
see.
you really say be shorter? I mean, as if like we can take a couple inches off their height.
How bad do you want it?
I'm gonna go ahead and say if I run my visor, I think everybody else should have to. I'm probably the tallest guy.
Maybe we'll see a Frank Flood visor flip here. It's been a while since we've seen one of those. For you guys that don't know, usually when he gets out to the lead in his micro, he'll take his visor on his helmet and just flip it up and run fresh air to his face as he's racing.
He has been highly discouraged from doing that.
Then Emmett stepped in.
Well,
at the same time, it's not like he's got
die hard.
He also doesn't have a rock screen on the car or anything like that, so something comes flying through. There is nothing stopping whatever it is right to the face.
So back to the visor thing. I heard the Keith Coons guys, they started doing it at Millbridge when the guys said they get up on the wall. They're struggling to see down in front of them because it's so banked, and they're having a hard time looking. So I think that's the true answer to why they're all doing it.
I've had that happen at Bloomington before. You get up on the bank there and you can't see, around the racetrack because of your visor. But a lot of monkey see, monkey do, I feel like, here.
Yep.
Fascinating heat race coming, guys. Flood versus Spence in the front row, and boy, Tanner Thorson couldn't have asked for a better start.
I was gonna say, here we go.
Yeah, you got your 3 cars to the front that you want to see, and the rest of the field just trying to sort it out.
Here comes Tanner.
He's down on the bottom as Spence leads lap number 1 up and around
that slider line I was talking about.
Flood coming back after him to see if he can retake second. He will pace around the back of Thorson as Thorson's coming after Spence. Early on in this, 2 down, 6 to go.
Spence is going to be able to stick the bottom of 3 and 4 here if he wants to hold Tanner off. Tanner's so quick down there. You see it grab off 4 right there and shoot underneath him.
There you go, chop.
Yeah, it's a good chop.
But
kept him off him in the bottom of 2. Can he keep him from going around him in 3? Thorson line change after Spence in the corner. Good back and forth between those 2.
Spence is going to figure out the top side of 1 and 2 again if he wants to stay past Tanner.
Tanner's going to circle him right here down the front straightaway. And despite a good defense being mounted, Tanner Thorson to the lead off of turn 2.
Unreal.
So good inside these midgets. One of the best midget drivers we've ever seen, and there's a reason he has a driller back home.
Opens her up off of the second corner, so Thorson starting 6th in this. 125 points, that'd be your high score. Going into qualifiers now, he's going to have to avoid lap traffic being squirrely on him, but he only has a half track to go.
Yeah, Spence wasn't really letting him get away now that he had kind of figured out his line, but checkered flag there for Tanner Thorson. He's going to take home heat race number 6.
I think that's one of those deals too. You get to watch it play out from when you start 6th, and you get to try lines and stuff because you have to use other ways of the racetrack. And Kyle is just going with what he's seen off the last heat race, I assume. So
not always best to be the leader.
It's tough.
Hubert with a 7-4 run ends up with 94, so he's got some qualifier points. It might make the invert on that. So we get ready for the 7th heat race. I'll swap out with Chris Moore here in just a second again. Did you get into the hasty bake, Chris? Delicious, wasn't it? Oh, good man.
Chris Moore was watching this guy, Michael Hubert, in that last heat race, cheering him on for the... Watching Michael Hubert run there in his heat race. He was going good. Dirt draft guy.
Racking at the points. Those two are talking to each other.
Oh, man. The AJ update, I think he's on the ranch.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, avoiding the people.
I try
and
not
the phone.
I try not to geek out too much, but if AJ Foot was watching, that would be pretty cool. That would be a check mark, right?
I know that. Oh, go ahead.
All right, let's check in up top. Earl Hoon Jr. with the K1 Race Gear interview.
Tanner Thorson here with me. Dude, what a hell of a performance by you. 6-1. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a high point man right now.
Yeah, man. Car's good. We got our balance back a little bit better from last year and the years before, and changed a couple things right there before we got going here for practice, and seems to help. So I'm happy with it. We'll keep building and see what we can do in that qualifier.
How much does this help your confidence for the rest of the night?
It helps. I've been kind of down on myself a little bit the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. Well, since practice day, and I didn't really know what I was going to have. So I'm happy about it. We got a good car, Maximal Racing Oils, Factor Cane shocks, Stanton Racing engines. Everybody that's a part of this team. We're gonna give Christopher a hell of a fight here tonight, hopefully, and I'm looking forward to it.
Tanner Thorson right there, guys, getting his 7th heat race win.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Earl.
Thank you. Yeah. That was a good deal. Yeah, no, I can't believe AJ's 90. Man, spending time with him. I know that there was talks. I talked with him a little bit. I know he wants to come out here.
Yeah.
I think for him, though, it's hard to get around this place when you're walking.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's always a big thing with the racetracks when he comes. But, dude, he's there every day on the ground, month of May, sitting in the box with us for Indy. So he's still up on car changes, though.
Yeah.
Dude, he's sharp as a tack when it comes to the racing stuff. I mean, he can. I can give him my feedback, and he knows what to do.
He knows what to do.
Oh,
Get a look at heat race number 7 lineups, but how big of a help is he come month of May, around the speedway? That's almost your specialty, right? You're super good around IMS, but how much, advice can he give a guy like you and just give you things to think about as you're making laps?
Yeah, just if we ever have any concerns in engineering, like we are questioning something specific, like when we're getting to the fine tuning, 100 pounds of spring here, a little bit of cross weight here, his feedback from listening to me the whole month, he'll get in there on the radio and just say, hey, this is going to be a good change for what you think that you need.
Pretty cool that he can be that involved, considering that when he raced, it was his word back to the crew chief, and they tried to figure it out. They had no data, no SMT, things like that, and here you guys are on pull down plates, everything else. So you
went out there and turned the wrenches himself.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to say. It's incredible with as much as technology's come along that still he's right there after it, right there in the thick of it, and can provide that much insight and knowledge with no problem.
Unreal.
There is some Chili Bowl knowledge in this heat race.
Yeah.
These car owners and serious knowledge.
Cole Parker, Christopher Bell, Sean Robbins, Jordan Mallett, Spencer Basin, Robbie Price, Frank Beck, your field in that order.
I want no part of this heat race. But these guys are in it. Bodine and Schumann will fire off the front row, and away we go. And Schumann will roll off the outside of the front row. And now Casey Schumann going to try and run away to hide, but it won't be easy. Here comes Christopher Bell. How about that? 4-1 on lap number 1 for C-Bell. He'll slide up in front of Schumann. And now watch the 71W go to work, guys.
Those guys weren't on FloRacing watching the heat race before him to see the bottom side of 3 and 4 is better. Jordan Mallett tries to reel his 91 machine back in. He's in the 4th position.
Spencer Baston still stuck in that 7th spot right now. Baston's got to get on his horse and get to it quick. Bodine, meanwhile, trying to save face a little bit here, trying to get back by Schumann for the runner-up spot. That is now Schumann second. He'll hold the spot. Bodine right through the middle down there in 3 and 4. Now he'll go right against the berm. Jordan Mallett trying to reel them both in, trying to make it a 3-car dogfight. Baston has gotten to 6th right now, but still plenty of work to do for the 1S.
Baston starting to close in on Robbie Price, but your best battle is still right here for your second position.
Baston needs a yellow.
Yeah, Cole Bodine trying to figure out something to catch up on Casey Schumann.
There you get a look at Baston trying to run down Price, and he is closing in. Going to need to get him, and that might be enough to get him into a qualifier. I would say 7-5 is 87, or excuse me, 82 points. So that would get him into a qualifier as the white flag is out and now will be checkered. And Christopher Bell walks the dog from 4th. Baston inside of Price. He will not get him though. Price will hold him off. And there's a story to watch. Spencer Baston only 70 points. Based on the average, the Thursday night average qualifier cutoff is 74 points. So Baston is going to need a lower scoring night. And with what we've seen so far, a lot of triple-digit scoring. Spencer Baston is certainly on the bubble and might be on the wrong side of it here for C main time.
Yeah, good news for Baston is if he makes that qualifier, he'll have a big opportunity to get some points moving forward. He's just got to hope he's not maybe in that first one. But
yeah, he's going to need some help. It was Christopher Bell going 4-1. That's worth 115 points and
should be a top 5 run so far.
Yeah, well, top 4, right, are the ones that are going to start 6th. But you have Westfall at 116, Leary at 116. Thorson at 125, Sarf and Bacon are both at 120. So
wow, yeah, big runs.
Yeah,
so that's how that works. Top 4 start 6th. They don't revert. They don't invert anybody else.
So your top 4 in points will start 6th.
Yep.
5th through 8th will start 5th, and then so on and so on. You work your way back forward, and then after you get to your pole guys, then you go back to the 7th starting position.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
not everyone makes the invert in the qualifiers.
Right. Yes.
But obviously, the further up you are, the more chance you give yourself for more points come qualifier time.
I mean, that's a good point, right? How foreign are these formats to you? Do we come in and, you go to West Coast, we have qualifying. You come here, we have passing points, and we'll dive into that real quick. We got Blake Anderson up top on the ramp with us.
Yeah, we have Christopher Bell here. Christopher, 4th to 1st in 1 lap. Are you flexing your muscles and trying to make a statement there?
Oh, this Dream car is really, really fast. It surprised me how much right rear stick I had whenever I went to the bottom. 3 and 4 was really wet all the way across, and then those guys kind of entered high, and whenever I stuck around the bottom, I'm like, wow, okay, well, I guess I'll drive on by. So, yeah, this thing's driving really good. It's handling nice. Can't say thank you enough to Bo, my crew chief, Keith Coons, Pete Willoughby for giving me this opportunity. Whenever we unloaded on Sunday for practice, I did not feel very comfortable in the car, and then they've done a lot different for me to get me comfortable, and it's showing now.
The 3-time champ, guys, is back for the first time in 3 years and goes 4th to 1st in his first time back on the track.
Yeah, Christopher Bell, as you said, Blake, flexing some muscle after that ROC win. So you get a look here at the lineup for heat race number 8. Yeah, talk about that, Santino. As a guy, it's not your first time here, but still the format.
Yeah. It still gets me every time because I try to go out and run Merced, and that format's completely different to Chili Bowl. And, I got to take like a whole course before I come out here. And, honestly, I learned so much sitting in the booth with you guys, just getting to watch these races, see where the line's going as well. I mean, also the fact that you guys can tell car changes like this. I mean, they asked me when I come off the track, I was like, I don't know, goes sideways, goes fast. Try to keep my foot in it. I have no feedback at all here.
Yeah.
It is so difficult for me to have a grip.
When you're in the Indy cars, a lot of your feedback from what you feel in your hands on the steering wheel and, not necessarily your feet or your butt, what you feel with the car sliding around. Is that how that works? Or
that and the power steering IndyCar, we don't have that. So, and trust me, you get a little sideways at Indy, you're hitting a wall. So it's
Imagine, Clint, imagine going 220 miles an hour with no power steering.
Man,
Good hell.
I can't, right? Like that's insane.
Yeah, I'll pass on that. You can keep that one, Santino. So we go to green here. Keep an eye on that third starter, Chris Wyndham, trying to do what Bell did and go to first in the opening lap. Oh!
This one's going to come back.
Yeah.
The big upside down on the backstretch.
Oh, man, we had a couple. That is Landon Crawley.
That thing's broken.
Yeah, that one's broken big time. Crawley in the 11 car.
Yeah. Josh Hanna got sideways.
Crawley's fired up.
I believe that was Chris Carroll who came on the outside with a big run.
We have another car broke in turn 3, guys.
Is that?
I believe.
I can't tell from here.
I think that's Bradley Cox's 45, broke in turn 3. We look like a replay here.
Yeah. Now there's Carroll. That's the 7N rolling up to the outside.
Hannah off Wyndham's right rear.
Yeah.
And as he spun, Crawley collects. Watch right here. Hits it and crashes, and there's the 45 car with the broken front end.
Yeah, I think it took the radius rods out there on the right side.
You could see the Crawley's rear end brake as soon as he came across the front end of Hannah.
Yeah.
Brian Ward is on the scene. He's going to get a word with the driver of the Jason Sides machine in 2025. Brian?
Yeah, Landon's hopping in the side-by-side here. Rough going to upside down on a midget here in Tulsa. Tell me what you saw coming out of turn number 2 to kind of start that situation.
Yeah, it's kind of the typical deal here. You know, you get guys that probably shouldn't be on the front of a heat race, and they are. And I got kind of out of whack on the start. I'm just getting punted, and it's just the typical Chili Bowl deal. Just everybody wants to win, but some of them want to do it lap 1. But it's all good. Try and come back.
All right, they're going to try and get this car to the infield now. They can't seem to get it out of gear, or it's dragging. Something is going on here. So they just said, get it off the track, put it in the infield, we'll figure it out later.
I think it's dragging all of it.
Yeah.
That's less than ideal. Those guys are going to have some work to do. Rizzy and the boys back there.
Somebody
Jeff,
give Rizzy a Budweiser at the end of the night.
Yeah, he's going to need one after that. He had some for the other reason on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and as we've talked about, I believe we're going to have D-mains tonight as well. So
Elijah Guile heading up the ramp, guys. Tough break for the young gun from Arizona that was 16th in a prelim a year ago.
Wow.
maybe that was the car over there in turn number 3.
It was.
Okay.
And Chris, Landon Crawley actually going in the Michael Dutcher 17 GP car this year.
Okay. Thank you, Blake. So
we're down to 6.
Yeah. 2 cars out of the picture.
Yeah, big break here for Chris Wyndham. Takes over your front row now.
And still going to get credited with a 3rd place starting spot. So good opportunity here for him to snag a 110-point run. Chris Carroll as well, 6th. Now will go from 4th, and we saw the great jump he had there on that opening lap. Clinton, he might help you out.
Good for our dirt draft. Yeah, it was to help you out too, sadly. I just want you to not do good.
Wow. I thought we were cool.
Nope, we're not.
Sorry, dude.
Maybe after a few of the bluegills in the cooler over there.
So, Dalton Gabbard avoided all that off the pole, so he will stay there. Wyndham now alongside of him. 45B of Bradley Cox will restart 3rd. Chris Carroll 4th. And then Tom Dunkel and Josh Hanna will go from 6th. Hanna originally came from the outside of the front row there. So we'll go to green with 6. Heat race number 8 of 9. Green flag is out. And exactly what you'd expect. Wyndham right around the outside of the lead. Gabbard held firm there for a moment. And now goes back underneath of him. And just like Christopher Bell talked about, just doesn't seem to have much grip there outside of 3 and 4, guys.
Chris won't make that same mistake twice.
I was going to say, you worked with Chris a lot this year.
Yeah, it was fun to work with Chris throughout the year. We got to spend a lot of time together going up and down the road with the Kubota High Limit Sprint Car Series, and got to learn a lot about each other, and wish him nothing but the best next year with Jason Sides and the 7S on the World Outlaw Tour.
So you will see Wyndham out in front of this one now. Bradley Cox trying to reel in Dalton Gabbard here for the runner-up spot. Bradley Cox started this one in 5th. 5-2 would be a solid outing for him. Chris Carroll, meanwhile, started 6th. Looked on that opening yellow like he was going to be a big-time factor, but is kind of stalled out right now in 4th, chasing Bradley Cox and Dalton Gabbard here for the runner-up spot. And now problems for Chris Carroll. Clinton, you're out.
Well,
you're out.
You're out.
No, but this is you.
Yeah.
You
This
guys
is a
gotta
you
stop
problem.
talking about these guys. Every time you guys start talking about them, something happens.
That's called the announcer's jinx, Mitch. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's a real thing.
Commentator's curse is a real thing. As soon as you talk good about somebody, things go poor.
Don't talk about me tomorrow, please. Come on. I do have my boss Larry coming in, so that'll be fun.
All
so we
right.
do have a Foyt in the building. So Larry's pretty cool. It's I don't know, man. just such a different experience. Watching you guys and listening to you talk about the line, how it's wider in one end of the racetrack versus the other. Also, being able to run the top in 1 and 2 to the bottom in 3 and 4, like I have no idea. That happens. I mean, it's just trial by fire.
How tricky is it to figure out as much as our track changes, right, over the course of these 2 or 3 heat races? And, we talk about, okay, you're on the bottom, now you need to be on the top and back and forth. How hard is that for you to come in and try to put your mind around, okay, almost, 2-3 times in a race, I can be changing lines totally different. There's not one consistent line or shape that you need to race.
I mean, like Chris Windham, he won't make the mistake twice. Over here, I'll just keep running the same line until I get my doors blown in and be like, oh, wait, I should go try that.
So let me ask you this, Santino. If you were going out there right now, what would your line be if you had to pick one? You're in the lead.
If I'm in the lead and I had to pick, I'd probably try and stay on the bottom.
I think if I was out there right now, I would definitely be top in 1 and 2, bottom in 3 and 4. Bottom in 3 and 4 is a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
And even if you got to slow down a little bit on the entry to 3, the moisture at the bottom of 4 is what really shoots you down the straightaway and shortens up the racetrack to make it as good as possible. So tomorrow when you're racing, pull up Flow, have it on your phone, put your earbuds in. We'll talk to you through, without telling you, we'll talk to you through the broadcast. Put an AirPod in while you're getting ready up there. And
oh, man.
Yeah, Flo.
We'll discuss line.
Especially when the drivers are in here. Clinton, Mitchell, Santino, Ferrucci. We'll teach you a few things. Well, these guys will anyway. Me and Caleb, we'll just be here. Chris Windham back out in front. Here goes Bradley Cox to the inside on Dalton Gabbard here for the runner-up spot. A good battle as Chris Carroll was unable to get refired. Cox now trying to get a nose in front. He's got that preferred groove as we were talking about. The bottom off of 3 and 4. Big time exit speed for Bradley Cox, and he is now 5-2. But Big Daddy Chris Windham into 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag. And a 110-point run for Chris Windham. No problems for the driver of the CB Industries 89X. Bradley Cox goes 5-2. That'll be 108 points for him. A solid outing, but in previous nights we've seen that would have been really strong and gotten him very well into the invert. Today looks like it might be about mid-pack of it or so, as we've had a ton of points scored here in heat races on Hasty Bake Thursday night prelim here at the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink on the NOS Energy Drink ramp cam.
With the NOS Energy Drink car going up it.
It's all about the NOS Energy Drink. How's yours, Clinton?
Mine's tasty.
Yeah.
I went with the purple GT grape today, and it's going down smooth.
Caleb's got the 0 sugar here.
He's scared of it.
Well,
sugar's good for all of us.
You guys gotta start doing a Sonic Sour. It's way better.
A what?
That's
Sounds
Blake.
like Blake.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
way better.
I got one right now.
There we go.
Yeah, Caleb's got a good excuse for the record, Clinton.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll give it to you.
A Sonic Sour. I don't even know. Like I said.
That's the green one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, typically sour, the color you associate with that is green. Typically.
Yes.
Green apple.
Okay, but we're still talking NOS.
Yes.
I'm getting after.
It's,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. I didn't know
NOS
if we were
flavor.
talking like Sonic, like the fast foods for a hot second there.
They had the full pickup there on Landon Crawley's number 11 car. So they're going to get it back there and quickly have to go to work on that 11 machine as we talked about.
Yeah.
We've got Earl Hoon at the top of the ramp with a K1 Race Gear interview.
Yeah, Chris Windham here with me, dude. What a nice performance right there. You have a lot of experience here at the Tulsa Expo Raceway. That's going to give you your 8th heat race win in preliminary competition. It's going to give you pretty good points going in the qualifiers here tonight.
Yeah, not bad. 3-1 there, I think. So, I say every year I come here, I shouldn't be nervous anymore. And every time rolling off before, I get all the nerves come back. So, glad to get that out of the way and get a heat race win there, and now just focus forward and get as many points in the qualifier as possible to put us up front in the A.
See what these CB Industry cars are going to have here tonight. They've been strong all weekend so far, guys, and you mentioned it. Windham going to be a regular full-time with the NOS Energy Drink World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series.
Chris, you should have, Earl, you should have asked him if he's more nervous for Chili Bowl or to be a dad here in the next month or so. That's going to be a big change in Big Daddy's life. Him and Georgia having a kid.
Congratulations to them. Georgia, our teammate for a year here. It was awesome to have her.
Trust me, we love having her over in IndyCar.
I got to ask you about something IndyCar related here in a second. Jake Paris, Ryan Burnell, Jake Denny, Ethan Mitchell, Ben Schmidt, Ryan Harvey, Matt Sherrill, and Jesse Schappel make up this one. You excited for a little IndyCar on Fox? I started seeing the promos coming here.
Yeah.
I'm kind of stoked for that.
Dude, Fox is going to kill it. I mean, just what we did on our production set this week and how much time and money and effort that they're putting into this, the talent that we have in the booth this year, you know, it's going to be big. And I think this is the step that we needed as a series to, you know, further grow our audience. And Fox is willing to take that on. Penske Entertainment with owning our series and everything. This is stemming from that. Everything that they've done for the Speedway, the captain. You know, it's a big deal. So I can't wait.
Speaking of series and growth, Mitchell Moles, plans for 2025 coming up. What are you doing?
Yeah, full-time USAC non-wing sprint cars, and then we're going to do all the dirt Silver Crown races and just trying to work on a midget ride at the moment, try and get back in the seat. I only got one season of those, and I've took a few years off, so going to try and attack that again if it all works out, so we'll just see how it goes.
Means we'll get to see a lot of you on FloRacing.
I hope so.
All right. 9th and final heat race, ready to go. From the front row, Jacob Harris, Ryan Bernal. To green we go, puff of smoke in the air, and Ethan Mitchell crossing high to low, taking second, threatening Bernal already out of turn number 2. Lap number 1 in the books. It is Bernal, Mitchell, and Denny 1, 2, and 3, the battle on up front.
Denny looking really sharp in the 67 Keith Kunz Motorsports ride. He's got a lot of speed, just kind of find a way around Lil Bundy.
Right now started third, running third, wants at least one position. Sherrill in the 4th spot, then Harris, Schmidt, Harvey, and Chappell. As Bernal from the outside of row number 1 on cruise control and adding some distance between himself and Mitchell. As Mitchell trying to keep Denny off him for second.
I was going to say the Ryan Bernal car looks really stellar right now. Shane and those guys are doing a really good job, and grateful to call those guys friends, but man, their stuff's been fast all week long. I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Confidence in that camp has got to be really high, and Ryan getting the job done here in this heat race as Denny has closed into a car length behind Mitchell, at least through the apex of the corner.
Yeah, the high side of 3 and 4 is coming in because we got a cushion to lean on right there, and you can build some momentum and speed off of it. He just can't carry it as much as he wants to down into 1 and 2 because it's still a little bit fluffy, nothing to hold your speed.
The entries are pretty short still, too. I see that. Yeah. That's a big difference from the last couple nights.
Mitchell ducks it down at 3 and 4. Denny follows 1 lap to decide this.
Oh, Denny got tight right there. That's going to be all she wrote for him. Bernal, the backside of lap traffic here, coming to the checkered flag, and he'll win your 9th and final heat race.
Blake's at home, his kid. I'm sure he's excited to see Ryan win.
So second for Mitchell, that's 4-2 with 103. Didn't end up being a monster scoring heat for any of these guys. Denny 3rd to 3rd with 86. So he'll be qualifier bound, albeit not in the not high enough points traditionally to make your invert for that. So we'll watch and see how they all sort out, but that is it for heat races. Yeehaw.
That was awesome. Some good racing this evening.
As opposed to being in, you've come in on like a Saturday afternoon before, right, Santino? I'm trying to remember.
I've been
a few years.
I've spent the week here a few times.
Right.
So the last 2 years we've had our IndyCar Media Days during the week of Chili Bowl, so I've been back and forth. But I always like to be here. I've been starting to run Friday nights. Love it. So
this is what you don't want to do, Santino. You don't want to be the guy that stalls it on the ramp and bogs everything up.
I haven't done that.
That's good.
And I'm not going to jinx myself, so I'm knocking on some wood.
Yep.
So,
good call. That's the one thing you can do.
Yeah. There's some things that I'm still learning around this place with the racecraft, but I have not done that.
I want to drive this thing coming out right now. That
you want to drive
fun.
the 2-seater?
Yeah.
It's like a Silver Crown Micro.
Yeah, I know. It's sick.
It's
yeah.
fast. It's got a 1,000cc engine in it.
Yeah. Take the wing off.
It rips.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
So
we could get you in the back of that thing, get you some extra laps, Santino.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah, I don't trust any y'all.
You don't think
no way.
Your management group wouldn't like that?
It's not them. It's just I don't have any faith in you guys. Try not send it.
We need to go up top. We've got a K1 Race Gear interview, I believe, with Blake.
Yeah, and Ryan Bernal. Ryan, we've been talking all day. 4th heat race win. How'd that go for you? I feel like we've hearing a lot of drivers say it's kind of slick on the cushion, I guess, quote unquote, and tacky on the bottom. Is it still like that out there?
Yeah, I think so. Almost house fun. So I guess, yeah, it's a little freer than I thought. But you know what? The car's really good. Shane's doing a really good job on these things this week. And didn't really have any other option but to win. You know, obviously not being able to start in the back and gain points it's huge here. So really happy with the NOS energy drink car right now. I'm having a lot of fun, and that's all you can ask for, right?
And I got to do it because talking to you earlier, we got to say hi to Gabby, Blake, and Laney, the Bernals back at home watching on TV.
You could have set me up a little better.
I know, I had to burn you a little bit. We were joking about that earlier. We got you covered though, Ryan.
Yeah, you got me covered. Thank you, guys.
There we go, Ryan Bernal's 4th heat race win here at the Chili Bowl. Caleb, the Chris Santino, the track, you've kind of been hearing the same thing from guys. Tacky on the bottom, slicker up on, I guess, the quote-unquote cushion through the middle of the racetrack.
Be interesting to see how it develops as the night goes on. Thank you, Blake, as the 2-seater finishes up. We have been lucky enough to have a couple of guys with a wide variety of experience here in the booth with us through the heat races. Mitchell Moles and Santino Ferrucci joining me, and Clinton Boyles and Chris Moore here in the booth. Guys, thanks for coming down. Thanks for spending some minutes with us. It's great to get perspective from the world of IndyCar, the world of USAC. Mitchell's been good in a wing sprint car too back in the day, and micro champion all over the place as well. And Santino, man, you've got a great opportunity coming up running for AJ with the new Indy on Fox coming up this year. So, guys, huge. Thank you very much to both of you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. Gotta say a little shout out to IndyCar and Shelby Natalie Rocket, our head tech director, who doesn't miss a moment. So watch at home. He's texting me while I'm in the booth.
Love it.
So they're all watching. Can't wait.
Well, we say goodbye to Santino and Mitchell. We say hello to Brian Ward from the infield. Brian, what's up?
Hey guys, checking the racetrack out right now. It looks much like what we saw on Tuesday night, where from the bottom berm up about 2/3 of the way, it is pretty smooth and it's been running pretty good. And then the top third is still really soft and fluffy. We got the water truck coming around the top side. That's what we saw on Tuesday, but they did bring the skid steer Tuesday night and they worked a lot of it in. Oh, we got a T-shirt that didn't make it over the fence. It's about to get soaked here, as tractor will roll right over. A lot of pink T-shirts getting thrown up. But we're going to see if the skid steer comes out. Right now, Martin Edwards still over there, not hopping in it, so they may not scrape it. I'm going to go talk to him, see what we get before the sub-mains. They scraped it up Tuesday. Tonight, looks like it's just getting some water.
Brian, did you say pink T-shirts going out?
Yeah, let's see if we can get, it might be Caleb's size over here.
No, I'm just thinking, is that the remainder of the Chris Wilner Fan Club T-shirt
No,
stock?
those are way too valuable to end up on the racetrack.
Those sold out, I think.
Yeah.
Limited supply. Hey, it's a small. Jenny might have a pink T-shirt now.
Hey, there you go. Thank you, Brian. Guys, you know the sports are better on the big screen, right? Head to your preferred device app store to download the all-new Flow Sports TV apps. It works on your Roku TV, it works on your Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, Chromecast. I don't have any of those 5, and it still works on mine as well. So it works for more than just any of that. Set your favorites, search our library of live and on-demand content, and so much more. You can see all of the icons that it works in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, but there's even more than that. So pick it all up, your sports better on the big screen with the Flow Sports Connected TV app. We have got even more to get to today. We've already had surprise driver appearances coming up here in the booth. The all-driver segment is coming in just a little bit.
Our surprise drivers left the door open, too.
It's all right. We'll teach them some manners.
It feels good, a little cool breeze in here.
We had a lot of people in here for a minute
Yeah.
or 3, so... We also got hit by the biggest chunk of clay that I remember coming off individually and pounding our booth.
Yeah, I think that was Wyndham. That's rude of him because I just cleaned it. So
You did a good job.
need to get back out there.
I heard that thing hit, and it rattled the building for a second. It was so big. So we need to take a break. We've got more coming. D's, C's, qualifiers, the drivers only segment, Big Al, and so much more. Don't touch that dial. The 39th annual Chili Bowl Nationals rolls on, powered by NOS Energy Drink here on FloRacing.
He does it! He gets number 2!
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists at Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simply awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's got to be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your simply awesome race shirts.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.
Hey race fans, have you set your Dirt Draft lineup yet? Dirt Draft is the fantasy racing app you can download right on your phone. Pick a team of 5 drivers within your $100,000 salary cap, and the better they do, the better you do. You earn points to spend in the Dirt Draft Speed Shop for all kinds of cool stuff, from t-shirts and hats, race tickets and pit passes, or even a season pass to FloRacing. New subscribers even get a free Dirt Draft t-shirt. Download the Dirt Draft app now from the Apple app or Google Play Store.
Since 2009, we have been working hard to give our customers a real advantage. Engineering starts by designing components using advanced 3D modeling software. We then manufacture prototypes, test them, race them, and refine them. Ultimately, turning these prototypes into better suspension components that make your race car faster. From concept to completion, we do it all under one roof in Brownsburg, Indiana. We take pride in every step of the process, from initial concept to putting the shipping label on your order. Our dedicated staff of racers is here to help you win. Everything we sell is backed by the best customer service in the industry.
Who's it gonna be? Evan Dempsey steals it here tonight.
The fastest.
Has been providing the motorsports industry with the finest transportation equipment for over 35 years, offering an extensive range of new and pre-owned motor coaches, toter homes, race trailers, car haulers, and more. Flying A is proud to be a premier dealer for Renegade, Show Hauler, Intech, T&E, Bravo, C-Tech, and more. Visit FlyingAmotorsports.com to view current and on-order inventory.
Welcome back, Flying A Pit Cam. Looking busy, especially tucked in at the back end of that center section, the main aisle here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. We're inside the SageNet Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Population 411,000 people is what I saw on Wikipedia last night. Well, for Chili Bowl Nationals week, that swells by a significant amount. You're up around 450, I would imagine, by the time it is all done. And They're all piling in here to the SageNet Center to check out the 39th Annual Chili Bowl powered by NOS Energy Drink. If you're watching at home on FloRacing, thank you guys so very much for being tuned in with us. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Chris Moore and Clinton Boyles. Well, outside of the Chili Bowl, there are so many tracks and series and stuff that you can watch here on FloRacing, including the Schaefer's Oil Southern Nationals. Those are late models on dirt, and they're kicking off in July with 5 nights of racing packed into 6 days. You take a look at it, Schaefer's Oil Southern Nationals at Beckley Motor Speedway coming up July the 11th. Day after, July 12th, they're at Wythe Raceway. A day off, and then they go to the Volunteer Speedway on July 14th. 1 day later, over to I-75. That is July 15th, a day off. And then down to Georgia for Sonoy Raceway. That is coming up on July 17th. The Schaefer's Southern National Series. You will catch every lap of it here on FloRacing. While you're watching something like the Southern Nationals or the Chili Bowl or, I don't know, maybe USAC during the course of the year, the Kubota High Limit Series, you got to do it in your Flo merch. If you don't, you're missing out. You're definitely not the coolest kid in school. You can pick up a hoodie, a hat, a t-shirt, sticker, koozie, and more. It's all available in the hopefully soon to be sold out Flo merch store, at least by the end of the weekend. Scan that QR code and get the latest and best FloRacing merchandise. Scan the QR code and go to shop now. FloRacing merchandise ready for you to look like the sharpest guy in your neck of the woods. We have got more coming up. They are still rolling down for D mains and C mains, followed up by qualifiers. And while we have a couple of seconds, one of the stars of the arena this week has been Christopher Bell. Every time he's hit the track, he has been fast. And as usual, our Flow Content team absolutely killing it with the behind the scenes. Here is the Flow Content guys with Christopher Bell.
The 3-time champ has been hanging out in the midway back here talking to fans. I posted on social the other day, I don't know if I've ever seen you happier than you are right now. You keep thanking all the fans and stuff in your interviews and stuff. It's just really cool to be back at the racetrack, isn't it?
Life is good, Tyler Burnett. Life is good.
It's pretty incredible. What is it going to mean to you tomorrow to get ready for this thing? I mean, you know, Saturday is obviously more important, but tomorrow there's nerves involved with these prelims.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it time and time again that Chili Bowl heat race, that is what it comes down to. And racing, like literally racing to me, is all about those moments rolling down the ramp for that Chili Bowl heat race. And I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to be nervous as can be. Just want to do good. And it all comes down to, you know, putting it all together. Although the last couple of years we've seen a lot of guys have issues in that heat race and they're able to drive through it. But you just want everything to go right. And yeah, so I'm cautiously optimistic. I had a really good race on the Race of Champions. The car felt really comfortable, but I just want to do good. I want to do good really bad.
I talked to Emmett Hahn the first day, and he said that was the best race he's ever seen in this building, right? The last race of the shootout. Do you feel like it was one of the best races you've ever raced?
The best races I've ever raced?
Entertaining, maybe?
Well, certainly entertaining, and it came down to the wire. That was really cool. You know, for me, I was out front, so I have performed better in races whenever I'm in the back and you have to charge up through there. So, you know, I don't think that it was my best performance, but certainly it was an amazing race, and I just can't say it enough. Like, everybody that asks me about the Chili Bowl, I'm like, there's just magic in this building, and every year something happens to top it. And it happened again at the Tulsa shootout, and you just never know, but it's always providing entertaining races, and we've already seen a couple great ones this week.
Is it the size of the racetrack, or what is it that makes the racing so good for these midget cars?
Well, I mean, they have a hidden gem. I mean, the dirt, the track shape, the track size, the track configuration, the track preparation, the drivers that are here, the cars, like the whole thing just fits. And even the micro sprints at the Tulsa shootout, they put on great races. So yeah, it is so unique that one of the best midget tracks and micro tracks is inside. It's a temporary track that gets built for 1 month a year, but it's amazing.
We'll keep selling t-shirts and signing autographs, all right?
Thank you. We'll see you guys.
the innovators behind Stag Motorsports, Stagco, and Stag Insurance comes Wedge Carts by Stag Unlimited. Hand-built in the USA, our custom wedge frames deliver unmatched speed, agility, and pure driver skill. Wedge Carts, high performance, hand-built, American-made.
This year, we actually get to race.
These guys are sprint car drivers, stock car drivers, drifters. Here, they're going to drive something that requires a different sense of discipline.
It's a group of 12 guys who are really good at driving race cars.
Team NOS Zero Sugar. Team NOS Original.
Team Sonic Sour.
Team GT Grape. We're not sure how these cars are going to drive.
Let's go racing.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is blood, sweat, and tears. This is the loudest party on earth. This is family and tradition. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The Pennzoil 400 returns March 14 through 16. Get your tickets now.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists at Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simply awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's gotta be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your simply awesome race shirts.
Race Car Engineering is your single source supplier for all your racing equipment. Dirt, asphalt, drag strip, street rod, or off-road. Their experts can keep you on the track and in the lead no matter what type of racing you do. Hundreds of brands, thousands of parts. Find them online at racecareng.com or call them toll-free at 800-882-7231 and make sure to ask for your free catalog. That's Race Car Engineering, 800-882-7231.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
For 45 years of experience, Buzzy Racing has mastered the art of drivetrain specialties, spanning from dirt to asphalt tracks. You're not just a customer, but a valued member of our family, embraced by the tradition and passion embedded in every Buzzy build. We cover everything from rebuilding and selling drivetrain components, offering custom Buzzy parts, steering box services, and ensuring top-notch maintenance and support for braking systems. We are committed to excellence in helping racers maintain a competitive edge on the track. Get it Buzzy built.
D-feature cars have rolled down the ramp here at the SageNet Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The BR Motorsports ignitioneering shot coming from 4 into turn number 3. And guys, it is our first D main event of the entire week so far. 79 cars in attendance here tonight. D1 looking like this. It is Danny Burke and Cole Parker on the front row, with Elijah Guile and Cody Beard on row number 2, Robert Carson and Sean Robbins in row 3, Catherine Legge and Joe Boyles in row 4, Chad Freewalt and Shelby Bosey in row number 5 here of this first D feature. You can see on the screen 10 laps in distance and only 2 guys moving up and through this, so spots to move forward are at a precious few and not a whole lot of laps to get her done.
Clinton, you may have predicted this, but no Joe Boyles.
No, broken rear axle there. She's done for the
pack her up.
I would assume the weekend. Yeah, I haven't been back there to check on them, but there was no 911. We need your help putting this thing back together. So
I figured that was a pretty good hint.
We've seen you make the scramble when he had made a qualifier before to go up and work on her. So
if I'm needed, I'll be there, but.
Well, green flag, Chris Moore.
Been a long week. Yeah,
long 3 weeks.
There's your one for the night.
Thank you.
I made mine earlier.
Which one did you make earlier?
I mistakenly said Jason Sides, or Landon Crawley was in the Jason Sides ride next year. I meant last year.
You had the Jason Sides driver in that same race, though.
Yeah. Yes, right. I just made a boo-boo.
It happens. Parker leads. Battle for second. Fierce between Robbins and Parker. Beard out in front. Here's Leggy coming. Oh, Leggy coming through. And one off the pace and the yellow flag out.
I've seen some quick yellows this week, I feel like.
As is their prerogative.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying I feel like, we've seen a couple of those anyway where the yellow came out, everybody driving away. But better safe than sorry for sure.
So this is Cody Beard in the 17E up in front of the field at the moment.
53 of Sean Robbins in the runner-up spot. Was scheduled for 6th. Obviously, again, we had Robert Carson, Joe Boyles, and Shelby Bosey not answer the call. But
7 laps to go.
Robbins from 6th into that second and final transfer spot.
Elijah Giles been pretty good in the micro sprints, working his way forward into some bigger car stuff now. He'll take to the top of turn number 3 and try to make it work. He's trying to run down Robbins in the 53. Yellow flag out again.
Yeah, big kaboom.
Burke's 15W. Yes.
Good call. No longer a good motor.
No. Running for Stephen Cheek. That is a Phantom chassis with what used to be a Honda underneath. Now it might have a ventilation hole or two in the block.
Got some extra moisture for the racetrack, though. To the top of 1 and 2 we go.
Glenn, you end up in a situation with oil down like it is there, and most of the time the officials say, okay, I'll run through it a couple of times, you're good to go.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it is what it is. As you see a beer can chucked at the fence. No, it is what it is. You don't want to run through the oil. I spend a lot of time grinding my tires back in the pit area every time I come off the racetrack and try to get, the pores opened up into the rubber so that they grip the dirt as best as possible. And so, the last thing you really want to do is run through that oil. But at the same time, Tyler Courtney would say it's your track. It's going to be whatever you make it. Right. So if that's where you need to be in the racetrack, then you should just take the time and run it in and get it the best you can be, because you may need to go right through that part of the racetrack and you want it to be as, as ran in as possible. So I get both sides of it. You might as well just blow your tires through it a few times. Everyone else, for the most part, is. And be a team player.
One thing I do notice, though, you saying that a lot of guys running through it with the left side tires rather than the right sides.
Yeah. And just, depends, right? I don't know that there's a right or wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
Just, like I said, it's not an ideal situation for anybody, but it's your racetrack that you're on. So if you want to be a team player or not, it's up to you.
Chris Moore, are you going to have the kitty litter, the speedy dry at New Egypt Speedway, or what?
I don't know what they do, to be honest with you. Whatever the track crew does for that deal, if that's what they normally do.
That's what you're going to be behind.
Exactly.
All right.
I have much bigger things to worry about on race night. Besides whether they're using kitty litter or not out there.
Right.
Whatever gets the track dry gets us back to green, fellas. Do you have kitty litter up at Skagit?
Try not to.
Yeah.
We have an interesting foam to put out fires.
Interesting foam.
That's right, that we have ended up mopping down the raceway.
Huh.
Yeah, have you ever seen a mop on a dirt track before? That's
I have.
Or a sweeper, I guess. You get the idea, though. It's been interesting. All right, 6 to go. Beard, Robbins, Guile, and Leggy trying to avoid the earliest start. Leg? All right, leg, my bad. That's 2. I over-exceeded my screw-ups.
What happens now?
I don't know. Guile going top shelf, though, to try to take that spot away from Robbins. Robbins holds the bottom. And keeps second for now, but Elijah, real good rhythm, some speed at the top. Little counter steer at corner entry, and coming off it, just a hair away from taking that spot. Robbins right on the back of Beard. Pushing hard down the back straightaway. Beard washes up, and there goes Guile, and Robbins will take second in the exchange.
Yeah, 2-for-1 loss of spots there for Beard from the lead, now outside of a transfer spot. As Elijah Guile putting together some good laps right now on the top side, and Sean Robbins content to just roll the bottom, trying to hang on to that runner-up spot. And they both have really started to stretch it out now on Robbins, and as a matter of fact, Catherine Legg is closing in on him. Guile jumps the cushion. White flag is out, and this is a battle here. They're going to start side by side in the C feature as long as they have no problems here.
One more time into the corner. Elijah Guile off the top gets the win. Robbins takes second. And then everybody else getting ready for their MNOP mains coming up on Saturday morning.
We can't say anything. We'll be here right with them. Well,
I'll be in the building.
All right.
I'll be in the building.
So we will.
Guile and Robbins 1 and 2. Unfortunately, if you had Beard, Parker, Legg, Freewalt, or Burke in your dirt draft or other, it's, yeah.
Clinton, there's good news. Justin Dickerson is making the call here for D feature 2.
He's out there. Man, I almost wonder if something wasn't running right in that heat race. I mean, got a good car and engine, and you know, just straight to the trunk of that heat race. But see if he can rebound. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, pole sitter of D feature number 2.
Yeah.
They would have had to have worked quick, so we will see. But Earl Hoon Jr. is at the top of the ramp with Elijah Guile.
Elijah Guile here with me, guys. It's going to be a very quick turnaround, buddy. You're able to transfer on and stay alive. Good job.
Yeah, just car's really unstable right now. It's too tight, too loose in some parts of the track, but just trying to get laps here because obviously got screwed in my heat race. So
Elijah Guile not happy with his setup right now. Once again, guys, this is going to be a very quick turnaround. He has to stay in the car. He's going to make a hard left-hand turn, then head right to the bottom of the ramp once again to go into that C main.
Thank you, Earl, for that K1 Race Gear interview. Clinton, how tough is that when you feel like you're tight? You feel tight in one spot and loose in another?
It's really tricky. I mean, I kind of fought that myself on my prelim night at the start of the night, and you know, it just takes a driver that's had a lot of laps, and especially here, to break down, okay, what is making me tight? What's making me loose? You know, what parts of the racetrack do I have that feel on? And then try to, you know, give that feedback to whoever's making the setup call on your race car and go from there. But yeah, this place is tricky. The moisture has a decent amount of grip, and the slick is really slick, and it just can throw you a lot of curveballs.
So we will get a look here at our lineup for D feature number 2. Landon Crawley, I believe we saw him scheduled for the pole here of D feature number 2. Jeffrey Newell alongside Jesse Chappelle and Brandon Boggs in row number 2. Jay Mallory, Frank Beck in the 3rd row. Carter Jensrud, AJ Johnson in row 4. And Clinton Boyle is going to be standing up for this one. Justin Dickerson from 9th. Here in D feature.
This is where, like, the young kids say, let me drive the boat.
See what Dickerson can do. A lot of work to do.
Dickerson will be fine. I've seen him have really good runs outside at midweek. He always runs midweek back in Indiana. And I thought a solid pick there from the front row over my dirt draft. But, yeah.
Yeah.
You win some, you lose some, right?
Things happen quick. You start getting shuffled, and all of a sudden.
Not helpful that Landon Crawley made the call. I'm glad to see Landon Crawley make the call, but for my dirt draft situation.
Yeah, your dirt draft isn't happy, but you're okay.
I am happy. I enjoy you know, getting to spend time around Landon, his dad Tim, you know, Mike Vogelpool with MPV Logistics and Texarkana 67 Speedway. That's a great group of guys that you know, I'm thankful to know and you know, get to be around. So it's cool. Yeah, excited to see what Landon can do next year in the Michael Dutcher 17 GP. They're running an outlaw schedule with a lot of races on it. So I'm sure we'll get to see Landon throughout the summer.
Should be fun to watch if he can make it out of this one. C feature number 2. No, I know. But if he makes it out of this one, he'll be in C feature number 2. I think he'll have an opportunity to go forward in it as well. So will Jeffrey Newell. Going to be a tough front row for the rest of these guys to get by. As we go green here, Crawley slides to the top. Newell will file in line. And as we work here off the corner, it is Crawley and Newell occupying those top 2 spots. Brandon Boggs, the car in 3rd, trying to chase.
Newell's going to show a nose to Crawley. Crawley has to slide all the way across to exit on the cushion. And get the top spot to Jeffrey Newell here in D number 2. Here comes Crawley back around the outside. Wheel to wheel going into 3. This time he'll use the high groove the whole way by. Newell down low, but Crawley just a hair away from retaking the lead spot.
Yeah, same story, different verse from what we've seen a lot so far today. Top side of 1 and 2, bottom side of 3 and 4. Kind of looks like where you want to be. Newell will slide himself down there in 3 and 4, but he has firmly planted himself in the top spot. They've got almost 2 seconds back to Brandon Boggs, who runs 3rd, and he's under fire right now from A.J. Johnson for that spot.
Johnson, like a lot of these drivers, had a problem in their heat race, trying to recover and make for a better start on Saturday.
Yellow.
Clinton?
Yep, that's Dickerson right there.
Got some bad news for you, bud.
Well,
I'm thinking
it's worse news for Dickerson.
Yeah, you're right.
True.
I'm thinking
my dirt draft will be okay. His alarm clock on Saturday morning is going to be extra early.
Ibach replay coming up. And here's what happened. Dickerson overcooks it in the corner. Hey, little flourish at the finish.
Yeah,
though.
keep going.
So Dickerson will restart at the back of the pack. There's the bad news. And then it gets worse. He's going up the ramp.
His fun bucket is full. So he'll take it up the ramp, and as Clinton said, get an early start on Saturday.
Can't race all day if you don't start when you wake up.
That's what they say. 5 complete, 5 to go. Brandon Boggs, he was happy to see it.
Yeah, if you're Landon Crawley, you really just want to get through this race right here. Spend a lot of time working on your race car, and probably didn't get to spend a lot of time working on the setup of it. So you get through this, give you guys some feedback, and try to improve for the next C main.
Yeah, well, even that, Clinton, he didn't really have any time out on the racetrack to find out what he needed to do to make his race car better as well. You see A.J. Johnson throwing it into the top side for all it's worth. Jumped the berm a little bit in 1 and 2. Now a lot of it down in 3 and 4. This is all good news for Landon Crawley. He's following Jeffrey Newell out in front. The 2 of them checking out. Johnson finally wrestles 3rd away. But it might be too little too late now with 2 laps to go.
To the inside, it's Carter Jensrud, making his way up in the C71. We're down to just a lap to go. Jeffrey Newell up to the high side, 1 and 2, works the wheel down the corner, and we will see a checkered flag. Jeffrey Newell wins D-Main at number 2. As behind them, Landon Crawley, they'll move forward into our C-feature lineups.
I have an update for you, Caleb.
Ooh.
No kitty litter at New Egypt Speedway.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll shovel out some dirt from the inside guardrail, but buzz the tires right through it.
Okay.
Send them on their way.
The boss must be watching.
No. Well, he might be. Actually,
Track crew is watching?
He has been watching. No, a couple of drivers texted me and said, we don't have kitty litter. We take care of that. So, but the boss has been watching. He watched a lot of shootout. Very interested in figuring out what we could do to get some micro sprints at New Egypt Speedway. So
yes,
that's something I'm in the process of looking into. Actually, would like to get a hold of Mike Dicely, talk to Steven Snyder, and get a hold of Mike Dicely at some point and get his thoughts on some things. But yeah, I'm excited. I think things are going to be good. Excited to talk to Jeffrey Newell, though. Blake Anderson's going to get to do that in the K1 Race Gear interview.
Yeah, he's a 2-time prelim main event starter, but he got some work left to do if he wants to make it 3. Jeffrey, you saw Landon up on the high side. It looked like he was kind of struggling at that point. You thinking just glue it to the bottom, survive in advance?
I mean, dude, I'm just in here trying some different stuff, trying to make this thing go a little bit better, and not a great start to our Chili Bowl prelim. You always want to do better than D-Main win, but we're transferring, and we'll try to get a little bit better for the next one.
All right, we'll see what Jeffrey Newell can do in C-Main number 2. Chris Moore, Is kitty litter, is that legal to put down on racetracks in New Jersey? I know they have some strict rulings out there on what you can do, when you can do, and how you can do it.
You're right, Blake. It is.
The state police doesn't like that.
Yeah, it's tough out there in New
It
Jersey.
is.
They're very involved.
Caleb and I are quite used to that.
Oh, permits are a thing, really?
Oh, I tell you what, I've learned that in the last year. They are a thing.
Well, let's take a time out. We are permitted to run the C main.
That's number 3.
Yeah, that was bad. We're permitted to run the C main after this commercial break. 39th annual Chili Bowl Nationals coming up with more.
Yeah.
I don't think there is. I haven't gotten a. No, I'm a Penguins fan too. I haven't gotten a.
Okay. Well,
There's no notification that a game started yet, so I don't think there is.
No
even if it
Steelers know anything.
No, Steelers got their.
if he's just being a race fan and enjoying along from Kansas or wherever he is parked at the moment, I hope he's enjoying the broadcast.
Yeah, Steelers got their teeth kicked in last week, so he don't have to worry about them anymore.
Bringing off the corner, spoken like a true Eagles fan. As they come through 1 and 2, start much cleaner. Bielman digging for a position in that all-green car out in front. No. They almost all survived. Keep your foot in it.
I think this is I want to catch the field yellow.
I wouldn't be shocked to see a potential penalty here for intentionally bringing out the yellow flag. That's a pretty big no-no here inside the Expo. If you're able to drive away, you're absolutely supposed to.
So Braxton Cummings, the offending driver there.
Looks like they were going to let it go.
Fires up and goes to the back of the field. Right now showing the lap complete. Ben Schmidt, your leader in the 35S. Cade Morton, 2. Dan Bennett, 3. And Trey Zorn in the 4th spot. Every time I see the Zorn car, I cannot unsee a Zierfoss car.
It's really difficult.
From the shootout.
Yeah,
right?
shootout when the wing car, it was a big challenge.
Impossible.
I'm with you.
I bet Trey Zorn doesn't know what Moose's LZ bar and grill is though.
Kevin makes some good grub up there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Elijah Guile.
The Rhino
quickly
fries.
Up to 8th. Rhino fries? What are those? I certainly don't know what you're talking about.
Fries made.
I could go for some Moose's LZ.
There you go, Blake.
Thank you, Blake.
So good.
All right, settling in. Got one down. 11 left. 4 cars advancing. Up into the number 1. And Bennett in the X car. First one down to the bottom, running in the 3rd position. That is Zorn. Trying to work to the outside. All stacked up. Bennett gets a little front bumper love. And in the process, forward moving is, I want to say that's Carroll.
Yeah, that's
Chris Carroll. Sneaking around down to the bottom. Carroll has picked up the final transfer spot at Moore.
Yeah.
He's 3rd. Bennett was 4 for a second. Now give it to Zorn. As Bielman winding her up around the top, he's looking for 5th.
Yeah, Bielman's just got to get comfortable on the top over here at 3 and 4. He's making good time in 1 and 2, but losing a lot of it 3 and 4. Meanwhile, we're battling for the lead here. Morton and Ben Schmidt going at it. Cade Morton's got it. Well, everybody just kind of on the struggle bus right now, and Carroll and Zorn just trying to stay smooth and let the spots come to them.
Morton's at speed here in the arena. Both Morton cars had. It's Ben Schmidt who is just having to goat rope that thing around the racetrack.
Yeah.
Carroll down on the bottom is just looking for a clean path through. He might have it off the bottom of 2 as Zorn jumps cushion and loses a bunch of ground. There's Carroll. He's wanted to put the 35 in the rear view quickly here. He'll do it and move to 2nd. See if Schmidt can find the handle in the high groove as Zorn has jumped to the bottom. Try to keep ahead of Robbins now from the D with a little time left.
From the D in the spin on the opening lap and is now the 5th. And Zorn is got by Ben Schmidt. So Schmidt now on the bubble and Robbins is closing, but we've got 3 laps to go. Does Robbins have enough time and the car speed to reel in Ben Schmidt for that final transfer?
Schmidt kind of got the car settled down in the high groove. He's going to go back to the low side 3 and 4. And one of his bugaboos before, he rolls right through the middle that time, but Robbins doesn't make big ground on him as we're coming around to a 1/5 of a mile to go for one final spot. It sure looks like Schmidt has enough space.
Yeah, no mistakes for Schmidt. He'll be through to the B. No mistakes up front for Cade Morton. Was able to get by Ben Schmidt. He will pick up the win here in C feature number 1. Chris Carroll, Trey Zorn, and Ben Schmidt. Your transfer cars out of C feature number 1. Sean Robbins, Elijah Guile. Guile, a good charge. Good charge for both of our D feature transfers. Robbins and Guile come home 5th and 6th, but just not good enough. Braxton Cummings